Last time on the Dynamics of Good and Evil. Bundle the Stalker Tabaxi, Dashegen the barbarous dragonborn, Mephisto musician, warlock Feliana Tadarel, and Ranya the mischievous ghostwise druid, along with their new dwarven hireling Undolin McLear, were making their way into the depths of the Marsh of Swamp, seeking out rumors of friends and relatives last seen therein, alongside sinister cult activity. After interacting with some informative native lizard folk, the crew made their way to the northern shoreline, whereupon the quintet found themselves before a stream in the midst of the beforested swampland. Approaching the crossing, Bundle snuck across to scout and discovered a band of skeletons performing construction on a ramshackle entrance to a rather pitiful dungeon, while a ghastly-looking tiefling strummed a lute atop a rock formation nearby. Bundle soon recognized the tiefling as Reich, a spurned genius who had swore to terrorize the Contessa, which started this whole adventure off years ago.
Ah, yeah.
But before Bundle could alert everyone properly, he was tackled by a skeleton and a battle erupted. Spells flew, skeletons melted, Dashegen turned into an octopus, and finally the party emerged victorious, although, while questioning the deathly demon boy, a careless move by a frustrated Ranya led to his invisible escape, though the malevolent musician did leave the group directions to their quarry for some odd reason. Welcome back to the Dynamics of Good and Evil.
Woo!
Get in the cart.
As you guys have crossed over, it has started to rain.
Of course.
Good thing we have tarps. Belle says, with the tarp on.
Will this rain hamper any?
No, but if you're out too long, I will have to make you guys make cons checks.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Oh shit, I'm too weak against those.
And what time of day is it right now?
It is currently mid-afternoon, tailing towards evening.
Alright. Dashegen's pretty much the one pulling the cart, right?
I'm driving it, yeah.
Isn't there a horse?
Alright. Oh, yeah, we got a horse.
Yeah,
Dash has been the one driving it.
I have a question. Is Baggy waterproof?
He is very fluffy, I will say that. I'm not sure that he's waterproof because he is technically an inanimate object. You will have to probably clean some mildew off of him if you're not very careful.
Ew!
I know those okay. Baggy return, and I transform him back into a fluffy little ball.
Get in the bag, Baggy.
Did you just Pokemon?
Essentially, these are what they are.
Huh?
He's not wrong.
Dash proceeds to, once everyone's in the cart, follow those directions.
The bag of tricks is essentially Pokemon
This way.
at random.
This way, losers!
Hold on.
Bundle does say to Dash, if it starts getting to the point where it starts becoming a serious downpour, we're going to have to pull off to the side, because tracking a cart through swamp muck and rain is not a brand of fun that he wants to deal with today.
Alright. Now let's see what progress we can.
You can roll either an animal handling check or a survival check to trek the cart through the wilderness, depending on what you want to do.
If I make a survival check, will my wanderer feature affect it at all?
Have you been through there before?
I mean, this is our second time to the swamp, so...
And we did come this way and go all the way to the edge of the map before, so...
And needless to say, I'm giving him the help action through this.
Yeah, I'd say you guys can make a straight survival check.
And
straight?
I am poking
Straight.
Dashegen. Poke.
Inspiration!
Well, that's a natural
Oh
20.
shit, man!
Never fucking mind.
Alright, so Dashegen, you stop the cart, and actually you look off to the side, and there's like these reeds that you like stroke your chin about, and you go out and actually attach the reeds underneath the axles, so that way it will help direct some of the water flow away, as well as provide like little slopes for the wheels to caress on if there's like any terrible lumps in the road.
Okay.
And after about 2 hours, you guys maneuver your way through the rather treacherous terrain now that the forest has slightly gone away and now it's more just plain swamp. Your halfway amphibious vehicle makes its way around particular treacherous sinkholes.
Let's avoid any ogres.
In the distance, you see a troop of froglings, which Bundle will recognize as bullywugs in the far distance. They don't notice you, but you do notice them perched upon lily pads, facing away from the crew at the moment.
Now, is a bullywug like a humanoid or a monster?
It's a monstrous humanoid.
A monster?
Ooh.
Okay.
Probably best to avoid those.
He's not going to go out this way. Last thing I want to do is start a fight.
Yeah, so I'm gonna make a point of avoiding those guys.
Yeah, they're not bothering us. We're not bothering them.
Ranya's watching them with odd fascination, like,
We're not chasing the froggy squirrel, Ranya.
and now
Yeah.
I'm just looking at them.
Yeah, they are considered humanoids, but they are very nasty, brutish, and wet.
I mean, I'm a panther. I'm hydrophilic. As it were.
You think of that moisture and it makes you shiver.
Christ. Anyway.
Moist.
You guys continue deeper and deeper around the sinkholes, around the reed traps. You guys do eventually come across a carrion crawler corpse, which, Bundle, you'll remember as one of Reich's favorite creatures.
Just say that, yeah, well, I think we're going the right way. That kind of confirms it.
That's good. That's good.
And
Oh god, what is that?
And after a good sopping journey, you guys start noticing that while the ground is still quite treacherous, there are a bit more lumpy portions where Dash is able to find passage for the cartwheels. And as Dash manages to keep finding these routes, he notices the ground is looking spongier, more firm and supple, as opposed to just dirt trodden.
Would you say it has the texture of mushrooms?
You can roll a nature check and see if you would recognize it as fungal.
I'm gonna roll as
11?
well. 5?
Dash, you're not very big on mushrooms, so you're not completely familiar. Fel, you just don't really notice. You notice Bundle. Bundle and Fel, you guys keep just getting it. You peer out, take a look, and you just keep... Ah! Water! Oh, God! Yeah, Bundle, you're like...
Ranya peeks his head out.
Ranya, does this look mushroomy to you?
Ranya scratches his head as he looks down to the ground.
Dandruff everywhere.
I think it's good.
Oh my god. Yeah, oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Ranya, you're like... Yep, that's some fungi.
Looks back at him like,
But the thing is, it's stretching for massive amounts of area. Like, right now, the portion you're standing on stretches for about 80 square feet.
Ranya looks over at Dashegen. Blinks. Are you familiar with the Zerg?
With what?
Nothing.
No, your mic is quiet. I didn't hear you.
I was making a joke.
Well, I guess we're going the right way.
Yeah, we are.
Hopefully. Me too.
Oh, Dash just follows the mushrooms.
As good hobbits do.
The Hobbit is currently in the back.
Hey!
Are you? Oh,
I
Hobbit.
think he was talking about himself.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm still short.
You're not as sure as he is.
I'm still pretty sure Fel might be among the tallest in the party besides Dash.
I don't. Yeah, no. Fucking 6'7".
Bundle is 6 feet.
And about 2 hours deep into your journey, you do notice that the surroundings are getting a bit more cloistered. There are now taller and taller stalks erupting above the spongy groundscape. Moss covers a lot of the surrounding flora. There are what look like fist-sized armored mites crawling up and down the stalks. Just they don't look dangerous, but they are a bit intimidating. Like, wow, you're used to seeing like mites only about the size of maybe no bigger than your fingernail, and here's one a little bit bigger than Dashegen's fist, just crawling up a stalk, nestling inside one of the gills, and just another emerges, just trekking up and down the stalk.
Would you call them all mites?
I hate it.
Okay,
And like that, the inspiration you were going to get is gone.
I'm sorry, I had to.
Anyway.
Serious question. Would insects count as animals?
That is actually a very... I think that might be a question that all scientists are struggling to answer at this point.
I'm pretty sure spiders in the bestiary are considered beasts.
Yes, but spiders are not insects. Those are arachnids.
I need a DM rule.
Let me see.
What say you, scientist?
I believe the
I would say
carrion
try to
crawler.
find-
I believe the carrion crawler is scheduled under monstrosity.
Are they?
Nah.
So insects are being considered monstrosities?
Makes sense to me. Have you seen one under a microscope?
Oh shit! Yeah. Oh shit!
Remember that one episode of SpongeBob where they're taking care of the butterfly?
That episode haunts my fucking dreams.
What do you see, King of the Monsters? Oh joy!
Eh.
Yay, Mothra! I'm so
I
disappointed.
did. I actually did really love Mothra. I
Well,
hated that fucking butterfly.
me and Deneb can't talk to those things. So.
Yeah. It's like, eh.
No, Dash is just gonna stick with his plan of following the shrooms.
In fact, is there any actual fauna around?
Yeah.
There is the moss, which covers not just the mushroom stalks and the caps, but the mites. And there are little spriggans, little tiny spore-ridden stick insects that strut like humanoids up
Again,
along the
fauna-
bases,
Fauna means animal.
Oh god, Paris.
like sort of like the Kodama from Princess Mononoke,
Okay. But no, actual...
but moss-ridden and very almost crystalline in the flora that covers them.
I would suggest Ranya use speak with plants, but that in this environment that sounds like the worst idea.
Yeah, I'd be getting everything from every direction and probably need to make a wisdom save.
Understood.
You fail your wisdom save, Ranya gets a nosebleed.
Because
And a migraine.
probably will pass out because of the cacophony of everything around him. Well, Ranya shake his head like, I'm gonna hold off until we find one of these mushroom people. It only lasts an hour.
Yeah, speaking of which, Dash is gonna look around to see if he sees anything that resembles a mushroom person.
Alright, that would be a active perception check.
15.
You do not see mushroom people per se. You do see that certain mushrooms that are planted do look like almost like they have faces. You can't tell if that's the shadow of the clouds affecting you, or whether they actually do have facial structures. But the more there are mushrooms just everywhere, planting out of the ground like frickin' Candyland. There's some with droopy heads, some with very regal floating crowns. There are some extra thin, some with quite the pronounced thickness. There are some that are very muted in tone, very sepia, and some that are just chromatic as all get out. Just with deep greens, light yellows, medium purples.
Next question. is there anything around us so far that looks like it would be more quote-unquote man-made? Like, still obviously with all the mushrooms and such, but does there look like there's any intelligently made structure to anything?
Not necessarily. There is, like, a path, but you almost feel like that could just be made by just passers-by, like, be it beasts, bugbears. Anything could probably make just a standard path. Sometimes, was it Bundle or was it Ranya who knew what a myconid was?
Bundle.
Bundle, you heard about, like, yeah, the mushrooms being able to get up and walk, and that's the thing that you're sort of keeping an eye out whenever you can. Just, like, nothing that big or imposing so far behind it, besides just the size of the fungi in the area. Okay. And actually, the sun is still out. It's as they call it down south, the devil's beating his wife again. So it's raining while the sun is still quite bright in the air.
Oh, that's common here.
Well, unless told otherwise, Dash is going to keep trying to follow the mushrooms to see if they lead us anywhere.
Rain while it's sunny outside.
Oh. That happens.
And a little over 2 hours into your journey, you come across a fork in the road, one of which leads to a hilltop that spirals up and around a sort of structure that seems to pile up and up and up. But there's also a little side road that seems to lead down into the shadows, into a more shaded area.
Which one has more mushroom?
I will allow Ranya, Bundle, and Dash to make an intelligence check.
Aww.
Intelligence or nature?
It's the same either way for me. That's a 2.
Ranya pokes himself in the cheek.
Can I? Or no?
Ranya, Bundle and Dash, you guys are like, got it, puzzles me. Ranya, you know for a fact that mushrooms prefer shaded, dank areas where there's not too much sun, but they can occasionally just have their own space to spore and spread in the darkness.
So probably where you'd expect to find mushrooms, like deep forest or inside cave.
Like we're standard.
So Ranya tells Dash to go to the shaded area.
I don't know.
Yeah, go to somewhere that has a lot more trees than normal, where there'd be more shade.
Upon hearing shade, Dash follows the shaded path.
Alright, and as you descend down, as you are preparing to light a torch, you notice there is luminescent mushrooms below here, the shade of golden sunlight, as well as muted foggy blue on polar sides of the path. One on the right side, the sun; the left side, the muted blue sky. As you travel down, it's not too far down. It only needs like a slight dip, about like maybe 10-20 feet before it relatively straightens out into just this sort of tilted road of sorts, where there are actual, you guys notice, footsteps. These big masses of markings alongside a pair of boot marks that...
Huh?
Boot marks.
Stare.
This looks promising.
And in the medium distance, about 20 yards away, you do notice a little alcove where there appears to be a clay and sod structure built with a very pointed, almost witch's hat type of design. And there is what looks like a stained glass window, but as you approach, it's just the film and mucus of fungus and moss all conglomerating, and pollen just making this beautiful veined just just design of this nature expending itself.
Is there an obvious door?
There is actually an entryway that looks like it's just very heavily knotted vines just around from the front. You guys stop the cart around 10,
Dash
10 yards
stops
away.
the cart. Well, who wants to knock?
I'll do the honors.
I'll do. Okay.
The path stops about 10 yards away from the house, and then there is nothing but a massive, unyielding garden of mushrooms.
Well, Dash
Like
parks the
up to your
cart.
waist levels of mushrooms.
So probably up to Dash's knees.
It's like still reaching your thighs. It's like, wow.
Welcome to Wonderland.
Oh God, poor Ranya.
Since this is Feliana's sister we're after, maybe she should do the honors.
Yeah. Looks to bundle.
Do what you want. And he says bundle as he just hops out the cart and follows with behind.
Yep. Dash will follow next to Feliana.
Alright, so it's 2 by 2. You got Dash and Fel, followed by Bundle and Ranya. Alright.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
You guys start stepping in. It's not very hard to get through. It's just Fel sort of thinks about, okay, Bundle mentioned mushroom people. It's like almost you're very hesitant to actively step on any of these, well, plants.
Yeah.
It's like trotting through someone's garden, but without like an amiable, like Western European style path.
Hey, Bundle, since these things come up so high, you may want to hold Ranya's hand. Otherwise, we may lose him forever.
Munch, 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 munch.
Fuck you, head! Anyone hold my hand? I'm an adult!
I just shake my head at him. And do not respond.
In the upcoming film version, Ranya will in fact be played by Danny DeVito.
I would accept that.
That would be amazing.
I speak for
Anyway.
the trees.
Oh.
We try to carefully wade through the mushrooms then,
Yeah.
and hope Ranya doesn't get lost to them forever.
Yeah.
As Roddy is walking past the mushrooms, he'd actually use a bit of a druid craft to make people a little bit more. That seems to be having fun.
Alright. Yeah, you can use your druid crafting ways to cause them to bend a little bit and sway, just offering you like a little miniature obstacle course of them swaying and moving, so that way you can just like jump rope through and then just whip around some Tarzan style and...
Yeah.
And as you get about 5 yards away from the house, I need all 4 of you to make a Constitution save, please.
Oh shit. Alright, let's see this. Let's see this shit.
Oh, wow!
Well, shit, Dashegen. Well, shit.
That marks 2 net 20s from Dash so far tonight.
Jesus.
Oh no! Dash is gonna be the only one
I
standing.
swear to God, please no.
Ranya, this is straight.
Oh.
Great.
This is straight. No guidance.
Okay.
Okay.
While
Oh God, not the
going through
squishies.
here, while Roddy is going through here, he starts coming.
Alright. So, as Fel navigates through, she knocks a particularly silver-looking, knot of mushrooms, which as you're trying to maneuver it, releases just this massive glittery cloud. It's like, oh, it's beautiful. And Fel just face plants down into the mushrooms, as does Bundle. Like, hey, wait! Meanwhile,
Tieflings.
Ranya is just like, I'm here in the bottom. Like that. And Dash is like, do. And Dash, you actually go for about 5 more feet before you realize, wait a minute, where'd you go?
Wait a minute. Turns around. Oh no!
And here's the also thing: they reform, so you can't exactly tell where they fell, and you can't see Ranya.
Oh god! Oh god!
Oh no! I was right!
Oh my god! We're losing everyone!
How close am I to the house at this point?
You are about 12 feet away.
Oh my god.
Ranya, if you're still awake, or if you're still there, keep with them. I'm gonna go get help.
Am I able to respond?
Oh, yeah.
Ranya,
You also have silent speech, I think.
yeah, but he speaks in my head like, seem to have went down. Just try to help them up.
You turn over Bundle. He's got this goofy looking smile. He's like,
Oh,
Stay
God.
with them.
he's unconscious, but he's got this goofy little contented look on his face.
Ranya squints at him like,
His nose twitches.
Would you smoke drugs on the regular? Would you have some sort of immunity to this?
Just stay with them. I'm gonna get help. Hopefully. And Dash,
Through his stuff to see if he has anything to help them.
Dash is gonna make his way towards the door.
All right, you move a few more yards in. As you get closer to the knotted door of a vine conglomeration, you notice there is what appears to be a figure on the side of the door, almost like like an etching of sorts of just this humanoid mushroom person. It looks like it's made out of clay. This decoration.
Okay. Well, when I get to the door, Dash does the sensible thing and knocks.
All right, you attempt to knock on the door, and your hand pushes through the vines, like,
Oh.
Hello?
There's actually no answer, but you do sense there is a dim amount of either candlelight or some sort of light source inside of the vines / the structure.
I'm probably gonna regret this, but Dash carefully heads inside. Doesn't draw any weapons, make sure his hands are free, but he carefully heads inside to see if he can find anyone and keeps calling out. Hello? Is anyone here?
All right.
So wait, where's Underland and all of this? Is she just back with Kurt?
Did you forget about
Underlin is tending to the horse right now, like, I'll be in there in a minute. I've got to
Okay.
find a place to ride this horse, like, Hey, weren't there like 4 of you?
Just making sure that she still exists.
But yeah, Dash is heading inside to see if he can find any.
Alright. You start peeling away at like the vine door. It's very thick, is the thing. It's almost like an amorphous mass of plant life that keeps reforming the more you try and open it.
Ah! God damn it!
Okay,
I can do this.
Healers in the back, keep the fighters helping hardy.
But
As you
Dash
dig, you
just-
hear just a mild shifting just inside of the doorway.
hello?
And you hear a wet stomp, a wet rumbling noise.
Oh god.
But as you tear away, you realize, wait a minute, I shouldn't be able to hear that wet rumbling noise, since you're staring at a mass of very obviously thick foliage. It's like, where's that noise coming from? And then you realize it's coming from next to the doorway, where you see just the decoration come to life, and just this figure start looming out of the clay and towering over you, a good 2.5 feet. This very emotionless mushroom figure staring down at you with these very wide open dark slits for eyes.
Hi.
Oh god.
It points at you with a very spindly, spory finger extension.
Can you understand me?
It holds up both his hands with one finger each, and it sticks a finger inside of one of its gills and produces what looks like almost like this little protein mass that looks almost like a very, very wet snail shell.
Okay.
No,
And
no.
reaches down and plops you in the middle of the forehead with it.
Hello there, lost one.
Oh, I can hear you.
It's the same thing like Ranya's silent speech. It's like, this voice is in my head, but I don't hear it.
Oh, you're doing the same thing. Hi.
You are lost,
Some of
two-legged lizard. You are dark as the dusk. What need
party
have
members.
you?
Say again.
What need have you?
We believe the sister of one of my party members is here, and we've been looking for a red tiefling, devil-looking girl.
I do not know of this religion you are talking about.
And Ranya, while you're messing around with them, I need you also to make another Constitution save.
Eep, eep, eep.
Why you do this?
Oh god.
You're standing
oh,
in a
god.
spore cloud.
Oh yeah.
He's not wrong.
Yeah.
That spore cloud's starting to settle down towards your height, mate.
You're starting to feel a little drowsy as you're attempting to help them. It's like, oh god, you're starting to feel fatigued as trying to help them.
Ranya shakes his head. He reaches into his pack, pulls out the towel that he has had on him, and kind of ties it around his mouth. He then proceeds to use some druid craft to blow away some of the spores. Come on now. Out here.
I need you to roll me a sleight of hand check.
Uh-huh.
Shnu. 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 Shnu.
18.
Shnu.
All right. So you do manage to direct it properly. As you notice, there are little spore pockets that you do notice. Right, like, if I'm not careful with this, I could probably puncture them as well. So you do manage to direct your druid craft just around your mouth area.
I was hoping to get her away from the rest of my party too, so we can.
You realize if you expand it too much, you might puncture those spores and make it almost intolerable.
Dash, looking at the mushroom man, looks back to where his party fell over and says, a couple of the people with me fell down over there while we were trying to get over here. Could I ask for help with that?
More visitors.
Yeah, there's
I shall get
four,
the.
five.
I shall get the wheelbarrow.
And trots off through the mushrooms, just parting ways, just actually heading a little north of where Ranya and Bundle and Fell are. Just treks across the round of the hut and comes back in about a minute later with a massive oaken cart. Well, massive for you, but it's like, oh, I guess it seems like a medium-sized wheelbarrow for the sovereign.
Yep.
A very droopy crown on this particular sovereign. Yeah, very droopy. Just piles over to where you direct, and Ranya, as you're attempting to just smack around, like, come on, wake up, wake up. The mushrooms part, and you see this massive form with a particularly wilted-looking crown and these hollow sockets where eyes you think should be. And, wow, to you, it looks like a frickin' skyscraper has started walking.
Q Shadow the Colossus.
Ranya can't speak with the plant and holds up his hand like.
Oh no!
Eep. Oh no.
Remember the fact that it affects everything within a 30-foot radius of you?
Eh.
And you are in a field of mushrooms.
And
I
there's
mean,
also
what is it?
spore clouds everywhere.
Oh,
I imagine the spores don't have anything to say. It's literally just.
Oh, they don't, do they?
Oh
It's
no!
like if you-
now they do.
How would you have a conversation with the seed of a
You
man?
don't.
Essentially, what those are.
Well, that added on to all the other noise you were now hearing. Oh, and you can't drop the concentration on this.
Right. Ranya, you hold up his hands like, I have, we come in peace. Do not harm me or my companions.
You are being overwhelmed by spore noises, as well as just the chill sound of fog hat trilling over some of the stalks.
You have become error.
No different from like being in the park now. I'm now hearing them. Are they saying anything interesting?
Which ones? Which ones?
The mushrooms.
What?
All of them.
The mushrooms themselves seem very zen, and just
Of course
having
they are.
very zen conversation. Like, yeah, this soil's pretty rich, man. It feels so comforting and accepting, unlike the rest of the world. And like, meanwhile, you hear nothing from the ominous tower just towering over you. And it
So,
just dips below you and picks up the demon girl and just
Hey,
and as about to drop her in, it's like holds up a finger and scratches its back and pulls out this blanket of moss, sets it down in there, and then slowly dips fell into there, and it's like
Hold on.
and as
What a comfy
people
bench
are not
blanket.
meant for your compost.
Feliana
What a-
falls into the moss blanket.
What a comfy
the-
blanket.
The sovereign twirls a finger, and the moss wraps around her very, very nestlingly.
She snuggles into the blanket.
You now have a mossy burrito.
Yeah!
Dash calls out, Ranya, okay, Ranya, if you're over there, don't worry, the mushroom person is nice.
He can't hear him from all the screaming of the
Yeah,
spores.
Ranya's a bit incoherent between the spore noise, the spore white noise, and yeah, I'm gonna say the spores don't sound like children, but they sound like pure white noise because they are life attempting to take
Oh
root.
god, that's even worse.
That really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are basically life attempting to plant, to set down roots.
To exist.
What was the last time?
Life finds a way.
And
What?
then
No.
the sovereign reaches down for the Kit Kat and lifts it up, lifts the Kit Kat up by its belly and inspects it like,
Dash, they're making burritos out of them, Dash.
Yeah, Dash, you can hear in your mind, Are those Drosile? Oh no, wait, I don't think those are Drosile. They look like Drosile coming out of its nose and twitching so mildly.
Oh.
Are you talking about the thing that knocked them out?
No, these long, thin... I believe the humanoids call them hairs, but I believe these remind me of the bacterial peoples I knew when I was but a spore. I assumed they were Drosili, but...
You mean his whiskers?
Whiskers.
Oh.
Whiskers. I like this word. Whiskers.
I love this guy. I love this guy so much.
And once again, the sovereign pulls from its siding just this film of moss and just wraps it around Bundle and packs him also into the cart and slowly bends down for the halfling and puts its two lumpy arms together, and they mesh together like clay and form a little lumpy platform for you if you wish.
Yeah, you know what?
Roll a charisma save, Ranya, because this thing is huge and it looks kind of ominous with its sunken features.
Like a Dark Souls mushroom.
Like, you are hesitating.
Yeah, this thing
Because
is
you've
probably
seen what
outside.
mushrooms can do to people. You've been in the forest where I was like,
Yeah, they slowly eat people.
You saw that episode of Hannibal.
Come on, Ranya, it's safe.
What are these weird...
Ranya went full munchkin. I don't know what to do! I represent the Reddish Port Guild.
Ranya, come on.
He looks at the spores like, shit. He gets onto the platform.
Holy shit, that's a huge fucking mushroom! No, Horsey, no, you can't eat him. You probably won't like it. Just stand here and eat this, Hey, can you ask the mushroom if it's okay if it eats this, inky-looking flower thing?
Oh no!
Never mind, it exploded once the horse touched it. We're fine. We're fine. We're fine? I don't know, now that I think about it.
Oh my god! Honeycomb, no!
Dash just face palms like, oh, what is it?
Honeycomb, no!
The Sovereign once again gestures with its lumpy conglomeration
Towards Underland.
towards Ranya.
Oh, Ranya said he got on.
Lifts you up and plants you just right in between the two sleepy party members and starts moving the cart. And then it stops and looks toward the horse and the dwarf and the dragonborn and just strokes its where its chin would be if it wasn't just basically a golf tee with a hood that this micronid person is.
When the Myconid looks to Underland, the horse Dash just says, the dwarf and the horse are with us as well. I don't know if they're going to be able to make it through your garden.
Well, I assumed so. I did not think I planted myself a... Oh, what are those ratty plants called? I did not plant any lucid
Weeds.
lucid mandrakes recently, so I did not think those were mine.
I don't know anything about gardening, so sure.
And as they move the cart towards the edge of the garden and waves at Underland. Underland nods, sort of intimidated, but I'm like, okay, assume you're the owner of this establishment? The Myconid strokes its chin again, ruffles its hood again, and produces another little lump. And Ranya, you're just like, is it pulling out part of its brain? I don't understand. And Underland's like, no, thank you. I already ate today. Plop. Plants it right in between Underland's eyes as a little hood emerges from the little lump. And she's like,
Oh yeah, Dash couldn't see what it did to him.
oh yeah, there is now a little mushroom antenna on you as well. It's very tiny, only about the size of a thumb.
Can Dash see it on Underland from where he is?
You cannot. It's
Okay.
currently like they're kind of in a shady area, in an especially shady area. But Underland's like,
So-
okay, and she starts following the trail that the Sovereign is allowing behind them. And
See this?
yeah, Ranya, you see this full
Does
frontal.
Ranya have to roll to realize that this is thing to convey communication and not take over his companion's brains.
Why not both?
Yeah, why not both?
Join the collective.
Yeah,
Flash.
you can roll a an insight check with advantage because Undulin's clearly communicating with the mushroom person right now. Oh, so that's what you're doing. Okay.
I was actually praying for double that one.
Oh,
No, you're like, oh,
Damn.
okay, that doesn't seem harmful.
Okay.
Okay.
Everything's fine. It's fine.
Sweat.
Stop it, screaming mushrooms!
Dash just patiently waits for them to come.
No, Ranya's still very put off by the white noise of the spores that is illuminating the air right now. It's like, oh,
Dash, I don't
Regretting his decisions.
Dash,
Lee Daniel!
Dash, if Feliana and Bundle get turned into fucking butterflies, I'm blaming you.
I would fucking love to be a butterfly. That would be fucking awesome.
Anyway,
I don't want to look up more homebrew.
Aww.
But anyway, the wheelbarrow makes its way back towards the front vine entrance, and Dashegen, you hear the sovereign say,
Pardon me, only I can open the curtain.
Dash moves out of the way, looks at it. Wait a minute, is that what's on my forehead?
Is what's on your forehead? This little lump?
Yeah, it looks like a mushroom.
Undulin becomes very self-aware of her forehead. Ugh.
Oh.
Dash, Undulin, you guys don't feel anything weird about yourselves, do you? Like,
No.
I mean, Dashegen, it basically sounds like silent speech. It's basically the same as...
Yeah, and Dash conveys that it basically, I think it's what's letting it do what you normally do, Ranya, when you talk into our heads.
I usually don't have to plant something inside someone's brain to do that.
It didn't feel like it pierced my scales, so...
No, your skin just feels especially clammy.
Yeah,
Ew.
Wait,
just maybe a little wet.
Roger still has speak with plants. Can he speak with the thing on his forehead? Hello.
You can roll a will save to try and focus your speak with plant,
Say will save?
Wisdom.
or a
Wisdom
will
save.
check.
You don't have will.
Will is wisdom.
Wisdom.
Wisdom check. 14.
The same thing.
You slowly are able to channel out the white noise, and what are you trying to do? Just focus on the mushroom on their foreheads?
It's just pure out of curiosity. Like, does it have any sort of sentience to it? The thing on
Alright,
the forehead.
alright, fine. You focus in on the mushroom on their foreheads, and you hear, "Welcome to WMYC, where you can talk to mushrooms."
Ranya?
Did you just manage to tune into a cross-dimensional radio station?
Oh my god.
Well, through speak with plant, yeah. He's like, it seems to be some sort of transmuting of common into the mushroom, but it's also transmuting the mushroom into the common. Wow, this thing works both ways. This thing's good.
AMFM. Runya's head was turned to Dash.
Now with limited commercial breaks.
He slowly turned his head back forward, staring at nothing. He remained silent at this untold kind of knowledge, unsure of what to do about this thing that he just discovered, or if it'll have any companion.
Ranya Marconi, inventor of broadcasting.
He knows he wants really nothing to do with it.
Anyway,
Yeah, as Ranya's focusing in on this, he barely notices the sovereign basically plant their their legs into the ground and sink a little bit into the ground as you see a cut appear in the vines and slowly part. As if being dragged just slightly downward into the side of the walls. As you see, there are little stems retracting with the vines, pure bone white, as they retract into the walls. And inside the structure you now see, it's fully made of clay, just this deep brown black clay. And they have carved out little sitting spaces, little carvings of places for humanoids to sit. As you assume, this mushroom person does not need to sit, as they are probably have very great constitution and just require, like a mushroom, just to stand and be.
Yeah.
While over in the corner, there is an exceptionally pronounced mushroom fungal collection that is emanating this orangish, almost flame-like light that flickers with almost like a heartbeat. As there is a hooded figure sitting at a table, just writing down on parchment.
Nani?
Hello?
You can't, Nani.
Once we're inside, Dash says hello to the hooded figure.
I can't, Nani. I can't, Nani.
You're asleep like I am.
Nani.
Unfortunately, I do not have
Oh my god!
Anyway, Dash says hello to the hooded figure.
Alright, as you enter, just before you enter, actually, the Sovereign dumps out the cart, and a bundle and Fel just roll out, unfurling from their blankets, and just colliding into little, carved out holes in the wall. It's just like bunks.
And actually, before we head in, Dashegen asks...
Actually, like gutters in a bowling alley.
Oh.
Dashegen looks to the mic in it and asks, should we disarm ourselves before coming in?
Oh, I doubt you are silly enough to attempt to destroy my seedlings. I trust you.
I trust
Dashegen asks, just trying to be courteous as well.
Appreciations are to be given, I assume, is how you Noidlings handle this.
Close enough.
Humanoids?
Humanoids, yeah.
Humanoids. Humanoids it is.
Oh.
Anywho. Have you mentioned a searcher? Perhaps my guest can help you with that. She is most adventurous for her youth.
Maybe we can introduce ourselves to one another.
I have the collected knowledge of 300 generations in my gills.
Ranya still not hear this.
Oh, where are my manners?
And pulls out ruffles in their gills and produces another little lump for Halfling.
Let him do it, Ranya. It's how we can hear him or her, he says as he looks to the mushroom.
My dude, they're mushrooms. They are
They're
technically-
mushrooms.
Yeah,
Oh, yes.
Dax has an intelligence
Oh, yes.
of not.
The construct that is gender that you humanoids seem so emphatic of. We are one and all here in the forest soil.
Plop onto Ranya's forehead. Broop.
Ranya looks over at Dax.
Hello there, little one. How are you feeling this evening?
That's it, as he started hearing this. And you can hear his mouth will pucker.
Also, fact: Dashegen has an intelligence of 9.
That
It's
doesn't
in his
mean
character
they're
to ask the
legitimate.
mushrooms
But
because
as
he would not realize this.
But as the sovereign continues, yes, I have the collected knowledge of over 600 generations in my lineage and my guilds. Ranya, make an intelligence check with advantage, or a nature check.
Nature check.
With advantage. Thank Christ for advantage.
You actually remember something of Lady Owl's teachings in your past, or maybe it was among the elves you were hanging with, but they mentioned that there are specific that you finally remember that. Oh yeah, they mentioned some people we just thought were being labeled as fun guys, but they talk about how the fun guy typically only live, quote unquote, for 20-25 years, but their next spores carry on their knowledge. So they're basically like leveling up each time, where each generation carries on the previous carrier's knowledge. So
Like a
it's basically
prestige?
building.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like
not
building a.
something-
It's like building. It's like a. Like a carousel that gives birth to another carousel that gives birth to another carousel.
Dude, I know what
So,
an aboleth is, okay?
in all technicalities, they are effectively immortal.
Kind
Right.
of. They are immortals in a sense.
Knowledge-wise, they're effectively immortal because obviously it sounds like the straight-up memories and such go transfer onward.
I mean, until someone decides to set fire to the forest, and yeah.
Also, that's more than likely that the elves would. I don't know if Owl would know this because she kind of.
Yeah, I'd say it's probably more
She has
the Fae, the elves you were hanging out with.
Yeah, that's not the Fae, the elves. But Owl has a domain of winter, so this would probably be pretty alien to her as well.
Where are my manners actually? I'm Dashegen of the Death Control.
Ranya, druid of the green children. Hi.
A stray. I recognize your tongue.
He
Oh,
thinks-
where are my Mannings? I am called Wilt.
Because points to the hood, which is droopy, as I said.
Wilt?
Wilt.
Good to meet you. Will.
Wilt. Wilt.
Nice.
Sovereign Wilt.
So, you look fairly young.
I am merely in my current 16th annual composting.
I don't know what that means.
Oh, wait. Sovereign Wilt, right.
Sweet 16.
The lizard folk sovereign actually told us where to find you. We were trying to find you. We were trying to find you specifically.
You refer to them as if you are not a reptilian folk. Are you not?
I'm a dragonborn. There's differences between dragonborn and lizard.
You were born from a dragon. Fascinating.
Close enough.
I must
Yeah.
ask my children if they have witnessed such an occasion. That must be recorded for the ages.
Oh god.
But we were told you have a guest that might be the person we're looking for, but the only one who can confirm is he looks at Feliana.
Honk Schnoo.
Well.
Schnoo.
Yeah, she's asleep right now, but
Or
we're
better
looking for someone who looks similar to her but red.
I see you have visitors, Wilt.
As the hooded figure stands up and been silently reading this whole time, just listening to this whole conversation go down. Because you guys are speaking. Wilt, as the figure stands up, you notice there is a string around this figure's neck coming out from the hood that appears to be, okay, imagine earbuds, but there are mushrooms on either side.
Oh my god.
Oh, yes.
Mushroom earbuds, Jesus Christ.
Air spores.
She can choose to turn off the conversation whenever she needs to.
Fair enough.
Shrub candy.
Hello.
Spore buds.
Here's four.
You see, coming from this hooded figure, a piercing gaze. Let me see, where did I write this down? With eyes the color of deep orange marigolds.
Okay.
So, I see you guys are also roughing it.
Yes, that's one way to put it.
Yeah, survived the daily downpour, and this area the sovereign prefers a little bit of moisture, so they made this particular sovereign made a deal with an elemental years ago, or was it generations ago? I can't remember.
It was generations, I do believe. Possibly 3-4 generations ago?
Generations by whose standards?
Let's see. Mushrooms live up to 5 years.
The Myconids particularly live up to 25 years.
Oh, the Myconids.
Dash nods and introduces himself to the hooded figure as well. Dashegen.
Name's Todd.
Todd.
Todd. It's short for
Big
something.
farm?
Todd.
I need to have Dash again. I need to make Dash make an intelligence check.
Come
Joy.
on, Dash. You can do it. You can do it. Yeah!
Todd as in Totter out.
The figure pauses. The marigold slits narrow.
Dashegen points at Feliana.
Oh, Schnoo. Schnoo. Schnoo.
He snores weird.
Or do you prefer...
And he says, "Your sister's been looking for you."
Yeah, I can't wait for Ranya to say, "Sounds like a little piglet wrapped up in a blanket."
Oh my god.
But yeah, Dash points to Feliana and says, "Your sister's been looking for you."
Sit.
Yep.
And the figure
Dash
approaches, and you see underneath the hood the almost like a bloody raspberry tint of skin in some of the dim light as this figure approaches and peers into one of the sockets. That's a cat.
The other one. He's
Yeah,
pointing at Feliana.
Unless something really outrageous happened, I would think, oh yeah.
That's Bundle.
No.
No, my sister's not white.
You see, there was this incident with a drift globe.
You mean one of those things that does this? She slams an amulet on a table and casts the daylight spell.
Yeah,
Phil, you like just unconsciously shift away from that light source.
Yeah, that blew up in her face.
Shit.
And her tail is still blue.
She actually shrinks down the daylight spell and pokes it into the hole. Yeah, I get, and stares closer at the features. Huh. Well then. This character unhoods, and you see...
Pictures!
Pictures! I had this one ready.
Yes.
I need to get one for Dash's sister eventually.
Damn right you do.
I'm probably
Cable-
gonna commission it.
Yeah, Cable does real cheap.
I need to get a little bit more money first, and then I plan on commissioning Cable.
Todd.
Is this one from Cable as well, or?
No, this is Fells specific.
You.
This character is carrying a shield at their side, as well as a mace. that is slung in between a belt, between their forked red tail. And as she stares at Feliana, kind of approvingly, you see fanged teeth. Also, you see lumps underneath her cloak, on her back.
Oh.
Oh.
I was about to say.
Almost like bunching of sorts.
Okay.
Ranya tried to speak in the Feliana's head, like, hey, sleepyhead.
Welcome to WMYC. After
I was trying to
easy
speak in this
listening.
The carpenters are playing over inside of her mind.
Christ.
Oh, I love this song.
Dash looks to Sovereign Wilt. How long are they gonna be asleep?
I should say at least an hour, I should think. That is... Yes, an hour is one of those where it's roughly 1:20. I am very bad with numbers.
Oh.
I have no concept of such thing. I know of the day. It is a shorter period of a day. A much shorter period of a day.
Close enough.
A day's...
Close.
approximately a day's swim worth of time?
Ranya lifts his hand,
What?
looks down at it. He casts Druidcraft to see what time it is.
You realize it's been about... You arrived about 15 minutes ago.
So about 45 more minutes to go, roughly.
Essentially, Ranya can use craft.
Yeah, Ranya, Ms. Todd approaches you and says,
Yeah, I wouldn't wake her up. I did once, and I was especially groggy afterwards. It's sort of something you gotta ease out of.
Good to know.
Like, it's not bad, but it's just, you just feel kind of groggy and sort of just out of it. Just
I'm sure they'll
just
be
let it
fine.
happen.
I'm sure that they don't feel like participating in whatever's going on.
Easy.
But- Guess we've officially found one of the people we've needed to find. Good to meet you, Anna.
Bundle and Fel, just charisma saves real quick. I want to see how good your easy dreams are.
Charisma saves? Oh, yay!
What does your subconscious tell you?
Let me see. Tells me to fuck off, apparently.
No, 13's not bad.
It's bad for +7.
Yeah, Fel, you feel a bit of the exhaustion. You're like reliving a little bit of the exhaustion, where like you just feel sore, as like you're just having this easy dream of like you just walking up and down some stairs, like searching like a library, like the family library. You're back when you were a young girl, just exploring the family library, like walking up and down, up and down. Your legs are a little sore, but they're not bad. Bundle, you're just reimagining your days at the trapeze, just swinging back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Yay.
Yay. Happy
Outside in the real world, Bundle's slowly rocking back and forth as you say,
He's even sleep humming.
he's a cat version of a metronome.
But is it alright if I have a seat?
Oh, yes, please do. You don't need, oh no, there was a fine carving right there for you. Points to a modestly sized, clay,
A 6'7" dragonborn sized carving.
Yeah, well, it's not just like a sarcophagus. It's like they point to like a sitting area, just carved out and lumped out, and it just start like, hold on, and pull out a little bit more clay from the roof and just start patting it down. Like, there, that should accommodate your mass.
He nods and takes a seat.
Did you Oh, you
And-
fat.
Which, to be fair, I think he's still probably injured from before, because he's still at 57 hit points.
Heck if I know, man.
Didn't opt to take a short rest.
Well, now you can if you want.
I'm gonna go ahead.
I
And
mean,
do that.
Fel and Bundle are getting a short rest right now.
Dun dun
So,
dun dun.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2. Ish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 69. 3.
Nice.
And I'm back at full exactly.
Nice. Look at all these books.
Ranya, was there something you wanted to do during this waiting period?
Can I make some more potions?
You have one more crystal, so you can opt to do that.
Or I can try to restore my diminished betterberry stock. I mean, I sacrifice themselves. Yeah, I think I want to make some spell berries if that's cool.
Okay. Depends what you're trying to make. So tell me what you're aiming for.
What's that sound? Let's see. I already expended 1/3 level spell. I think I want to expand my repertoire, but what exactly?
Even better, what have you prepared for today?
I have everything.
Yeah, you can only pick something you've prepared for the day.
Okay, that's good to know.
So if you want to make berries of it, you have to prepare it the day of.
What the hell would a moonbeam berry be?
Oh God.
Did you prepare it?
A grenade?
Yeah, I did.
I guess it would be a grenade. You have to expend a moonbeam spell slot, and they have to roll a check to see if you expend any additional slots to like properly cultivate it.
Well, I'm gonna give it a shot. No. Even a stupider idea. It's consumed and it becomes basically like shoot the roof. Charging the laser.
That sounds incredibly dangerous. Dash is not testing it.
Go on, that. Don't you want to be able to shoot radiant?
He already
damage
can! He can shoot acid, he's fine!
You can vomit it too if you wanted to.
for like a minute.
Did you not see me melt a skeleton last time?
Actually, would that be useful?
Would that be useful? I don't know.
No, I'm thinking. Actually, I want to make a couple of lesser restoration berries.
Those sound very useful.
Yeah,
Alright.
especially in swamp.
You can expend 2 versions of that spell slot,
Okay.
and roll me a kit check.
For herb living kit?
Yes.
I'm using this through druid crap, ain't I?
Oh, yeah, never mind.
I mean, I have a +9 to the kit.
Oh,
but-
yeah, you have to roll an Arcana check for this.
Yeah, I don't get any.
Or nature, right?
Arcana, because he's focusing
Yeah.
on magic.
Yeah, I'm manipulating something.
Yeah. I imagine at some point this is going to give you proficiency in Arcana.
We're not.
He has to
certain yet
focus
because
on
I
it.
haven't had-
Mm.
You have to actively train for it.
Fair enough.
I should probably do that while we're riding in a cart sometime. Oh, I'll do that later.
I'm gonna say this will take a week, like of
but,
focusing,
a week-
of focus study.
Is that a week straight or a week accumulated time?
God, more that I think about it.
Math.
I have it down.
Regardless, roll that arca.
Oh well.
Alright, you get... So you're making 2 batches.
Am I? I mean, have to roll twice, or?
Alright, you get 4 berries.
Oh, okay.
3. I'm sorry, 3.
3. Okay. Yeah, I still got something on that thing.
You get 3 berries that look like clay with little ashen dots in them, like very brown with little speckles of white, like a clay, like a sprinkling of chalk over like a muddy road.
Oh, wait. That's a restoration.
As a heads up, Dash has questions for the Sovereign while this is going on.
Okay, lesser restoration does not cure sleep.
No.
And I imagine they're waking up by the time you get these done.
Well, we can still have a talk with the Sovereign while you're waiting. So while
Yeah.
he's doing this,
Yeah.
the Sovereign
Yeah.
wanders over for a little bit while he's doing it. He's like,
You are a cultivator.
See? I thought that she was gonna go talk to Dash.
I know,
Yeah.
but before this conversation happens, she just wanders over while they wander over while you were doing that.
You are a cultivator.
He glasses up. Yeah, I am. It's become a little bit of a hobby of mine.
They're just hovering curiously over you. Fascinating.
Get away from me.
Oh, by the way,
You just spread the life all around, like I do.
The nod.
It's terrifying.
Ranya has made a friend.
Ranya looks a little bit reserved around this giant mushroom creature. You get the sense that mushroom creature is kind of outside of his experience, considering that he basically lived in a mountainous terrain where there's not very many mushrooms to begin with. But yeah, he's starting to get used to it.
Out of the corner while you're watching this happen, you see out of the corner of your eye, Dash, Ms. Todd just ruffling Feliana's hair a little bit as she's slumbering. She's got a faint smile on her face as she does it with this lady also has like hair the color of the woodland, where it seems very dark in portions, dark brunette with like little spriggans of like almost like little vines growing out of it. You can't tell whether it's just messy or it's a choice. Goodness knows, you haven't asked her yet, but just cute how she's just ruffling Feliana's hair as she's slumbering.
Miss your little sister, huh?
Wait, what?
The way you're messing with her hair made me think you probably missed her.
Okay, I thought you said missed your little... Did you say missed your little sister?
Mr. Little Sister.
Missed.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you called her little sister, like, actually, you'd be surprised. Yeah, I was going to say, actually, you got it the wrong way.
Oh, I thought Feliana was the middle child.
According to Fel, Anihala is the younger one.
No, she was the older one.
God damn it.
I'm sorry.
So I was right.
Sorry.
We need an index.
I did!
Older sister, Annie. Younger for a younger brother.
As
okay.
a middle child myself, I remembered that.
Okay, my bad, sorry.
Just so you know, Brett, Ranya only has one sibling.
It takes a middle child to know a middle child.
Alright, yeah, she nods, like, I guess I always felt more of the little sister at times around them. You notice she is a little bit shorter than Fel is.
Yes!
Actually, no, never mind. She's roughly the same size. Maybe a half inch taller, but you really can't tell because, well, Fel's laying down right now. But you have an inkling. maybe she's a little like maybe I can't tell. But yeah, you have a brief exchange over that, and then the sovereign wanders over like, yes, the younglings. I have so many to care for. So many to care for. That reminds me.
Sovereign will.
Oh yes, reptilian dash.
Right.
Oh,
I
I'm sorry.
to-
You're born of dragon. You.
Close enough.
Bjorn.
There was something I wanted to ask you since we saw signs of it when we were in this area. You haven't noticed any suspicious cloaked figures around lately, have you? Maybe looked similar to me.
Suspicious.
Oh,
this language is
no
very confusing.
No good. Bad people. Do bad things.
Less inviting. Well then.
He nods.
Some sporelings of mine have reported a raising of the grounds, which I have to explore a little bit. I was just caring for my guest here. They are studying under me, my dear toddling.
And Dash nods. We saw the same thing when we were trying to search the area. I personally have reason to believe that it's the doing of some real bad dragonborn people who I've been after for a long time now.
You must have turned out well for having been born from a dragon, compared to others not taking it that well.
Generally speaking, my kin of the shiny variety, their scales looking like metal, tend to be good. Whereas
so the colored ones are the bad ones, you say?
Oh no! No, no, no!
Not,
no, no, no!
Not all the time, and not all the time. And the same.
I was going to say you are one the color of dark prunes on a harsh summer's day, or
He
prunes
nods.
in the shade.
He has destroyed many bars.
God damn it, Ranya.
Bars. I am not familiar.
You know what alcohol?
Is it a new type of vine structure?
It's a place where you go to drink alcoholic drink.
Oh, that's right. You don't have roots with which to absorb the groundwater that runs beneath us at all times.
He nods.
No, I am not familiar with this bar. At this point,
Lee Daniel!
Ani Todd has put one of her buds in. It's like, yeah, bars are fun, I suppose. Meh.
I've been banned from drinking by my party.
Ah, you're one of those.
I go a bit too overboard, and let's just say drunk dragonborn who can spit acid isn't really a good combination.
Sounds like you need religion.
I'm good with sticking to worshipping my ancestors.
Suit yourself.
I have an owl goddess if you're interested.
Yeah, but your goddess sounds fucking terrifying, right?
Only to those who don't know her. Death is usually terrifying to those who
Make a
fear
wisdom
it.
save, Ranya.
Oh god! Oh god! Oh god! I was about to say, you talked about Lady Owl.
11.
Let's say, as you think back on her, you do manage to slip one hoot into that sentence.
Oh. Yeah,
Why are you hooting?
I have a theory about that, but...
It only happened once, so Dasher's like, maybe you put it there for effect.
I have a theory, but that's for later.
Is this those fancy special effects the kids are talking about?
But anyway, the reason I was asking Sovereign Wilt is because those people are people I'm currently after because they did bad things to my clan years ago, and I'm currently trying to undo the damage they've done where I can.
A good procedure to follow, young bearer of dragon's heritage. I should think that you would make a good cultivator and warden yourself.
Dashegen ponders a moment.
That's a compliment.
I appreciate the compliment, and I guess with what I was being trained up to be for my clan, that's not too far off. He says as he tries to momentarily summon one of his ancestral ghosts to kind of show what he means.
You summoned Big Billy.
Just a dragonborn in a suit appears with sunglasses and a radio.
I'm so glad that's the running gag now.
I'm gonna roll something for. Yeah. Sovereign Wilt does nothing. Just. Well.
Well, what?
You were going to bring someone.
Dash looks to. I did manage to summon an ancestor.
Yeah.
Constructs
looks
don't
to
see
the
ghosts.
He looks to the ancestor.
Lycan is not a construct, sir.
Do
that's fair.
you not see the ghost?
What is a ghost?
It's a spooky.
Do you know what a soul is?
I have heard rumors of that I crush those who pass by, but
Oh!
I have no knowledge of this soul, no. I can save yours if you want. No, toddling. No, thank you.
Oh God.
Dash looks to Anihala. You see the ghost, right?
Oh yeah, it's just a thing with Sovereign here. She, oh no, wait, they, it. The Sovereign doesn't quite have the full range of sensory. They sort of trade off certain senses that we get, where like we can see certain spiritual things. They're more deep into nature, so they're more tactile, I believe is the term. I'm slowly studying and learning that. I've summoned similar things, like I have a spiritual scythe I use to help them cultivate, and they just see the grass and be like, and just go, wow, you're doing great, just doing that with your mind. It's like, they just assume that the wind is especially sharp today, and they can't see that I summoned a spiritual scythe, so, just little trade-offs.
Fair enough. Well, to put it in words, then I'm what's called an ancestral guardian. I summon the power of my ancestors to help protect the clan. Or that's how it was. That was how it was supposed to be.
Ah, I see. I can attempt to imagine what I would think it would be for me. I see lots of tendrils.
Oh.
In your case,
Perhaps
that
some
sounds
mucousy film.
in your case, that sounds accurate.
Bacteria devouring a skeleton.
As you are roused, Bundle, from a very relaxing sleep, like, you find yourself in a clay hole in the wall. It's like,
And he looks around, sees what he's in, and he doesn't move at first. He looks over. He looks to himself, pats himself down, makes sure he still has all of this stuff, and he pinches himself to make sure what happened to him.
The fur on your left leg is currently braided.
Why?
No, there's just
Not
some
even
tufts of
recorded.
like leaves and things in your fur, just from the woolen mossy blanket you were covered in,
Okay.
which collapses as soon as you stretch.
I'm braiding the fur.
And that's why I'm not allowed to drink anymore.
Who's giving Dash drinks? Says Bundle as he jolts up.
Bonk!
Ow!
Oh, hey, Bundle's awake.
Ow.
It's not hard. It's just like. Ugh.
Oh. Ew. Ew, what is this? What is
Good
this?
morning. Or, well, it's not actually morning, but
It's still storming outside.
how was your nap?
My net. Wait, what?
There
Yeah,
is a
drugs.
massive mushroom person standing next to Dash, just.
Hang on. Hang on. Hang on.
Hang on. Hang on.
Say anything, Bundle? I didn't make that.
Holy fucking shit!
The mushroom person is bigger than Dash, and you know how big Dash is.
Which is why he's saying.
Yeah, we're
holy-
talking like roughly 9 foot tall.
Oh yeah, Bundle. This is Sovereign Will. They're a nice mushroom person.
Waves and then holds up a finger, digs, literally pushes up into the hood and starts wriggling around in the gills and starts walking towards you with its finger still in its hood and plops out with a little bit of a like a little lump on the edge of its finger as it just starts like a baby coming in with the airplane spoon.
Alright,
Plop right on your forehead.
Hello there, little Kit Kat.
he blinks, looks to Dash and says, so it talks like Ranya, huh?
Ranya looks over at
Except
Bundle.
with an extra step as Dash points to the same thing on his own.
Ranya doesn't say anything out loud, but he's staring at Bundle. One of us. One of
I was
us.
gonna say, like,
One
Ranya has
of us.
bloodshot eyes. He doesn't even touch the Pesh.
Ranya, stop that. I know what you're trying to do. and
You have
I'm
no
the dumb
idea.
one.
You have no idea.
Anywho, Bundle's just like, okay. So, what I missed? Last thing I remember, I was walking through a mushroom field, trying
Well,
to look for,
First of all, meet Feliana's sister as he gestures over to Hobby Hollow.
There is a figure huddled over another hole in the wall, as you see a tiefling with the skin of, like, bloody raspberries, just slowly caressing and tussling the hair of Feliana as she sleeps in her own mossy blanket.
huh. Well, pleasure, I suppose.
Nice to meet ya. Yeah,
Seems nice.
guess you guys had quite the journey.
That's one way to put it. He says that's one less. He has that look of, we've been through so much shit.
I don't think the lizard people like me very much.
Ah, you met the other sovereign. How is she doing? Is her litter coming in?
Oh god.
I didn't.
Or is it a clutch? I'm getting used to this right now. Fel, you're slowly rousing. It's like the neat tussling of your hair provides a nice comfort as you sort of lean into the hand.
Good. You returned to us, Feliana. Now you may join the herd.
What? What's going?
You open your eyes to see just this. First, okay, actually, your sister's going to be backlit from this, so it's very interesting just to see this very dark figure to you just staring down at you as your eyes slowly adjust. Like,
Does Feliana's sister also have one of the things on her head?
I know she has the buds.
Ah.
Shrooms by Dre.
Mm-hmm. So she currently sees all of her companions, so it's a little antennae thing on her forehead.
Do I? Do I, DM?
No, you're still like focusing your eyes from your nap as you're focusing on this figure right in front of you as you hear everyone else. But you see it. Wakey wakey. Wakey wakey. Felly. That's what
Her eyes.
That's what I like
Yeah,
think.
Hey, little fella.
No, yeah, her eyes just flashed open. Like, who the fuck?
Who dares?
Who fucking dares?
And as she leans in and kisses your forehead lightly, your eyes finally adjust. You see, yeah, that's your missing sister, but she looks different. Her hair, normally the deep, dark brown, is now a little bit lighter and has like vines and little like flowers like in the tussles of it. There, she's wearing a very eco-friendly looking cloak of like green and brown.
Oh,
And-
she's a nature cleric.
Ah.
And she smiles her fanged smile at you. It's like, hey sis.
Like the fell's just like taking all this in. Her eyes are wide as she's like, "Hey, yeah, that one sister you've been looking for I don't know how many years. Yeah, there she is." And she's just like,
I love the music kicking in right now.
Yeah.
"Oh, that's awesome." She's like, I'm not hallucinating, right?
I mean, if you are, then why am I wet?
I don't fucking know.
You hit a
Travis.
vein.
What?
You hit a vein of like mud in your place, but like. I struck oil, but it's natural oil. Oh God!
Yeah, I kind of figured that you would.
Why is this thing trying to sell me on essential medicines?
See, I figured that you would have asked, if you are, why am I having the same hallucination? But shrugged.
No, it's gonna be funny. Anywho, continue.
Where I have, Fell's just like her eyes are widened and now.
Oh no, sis, you're not tripping yet. You need to grab some of the other spores for that.
Yeah, both
I was
those.
about to say, you said yet specifically.
To which Bundle says, I know which ones those are, and no, I'm not pointing them out!
I'm rather curious about the hallucinogenic properties of mushrooms.
No!
Listen, man.
No!
If we can use them against our enemy, you'll be happy we have them.
No!
This bundle in the corner like a check. No! No!
Anyway,
No!
we should probably let the sisters reunite.
I mean, they're doing it right now, just they're really, really, really quiet about it.
As he's still trying to plug up the hole that he caused in the clay. Like, oh God, it's still coming. Ah!
Anyway, Feliana has the talking stick.
Damn it, where is he getting the fucking way from? I was eating, goddammit.
So, here we are.
She stares at her wide-eyed, and from this position she can actually see. Fell's eyes start like brimming with water. She looks like she's about to cry, but she's holding it in like incredible as hard as she can, as she just shakily speaks like, I have so many. I have so many. Where were you?
Where to begin?
Why did you leave?
You want to ask why I left him.
Why did you leave us with him?
I left while you were out in college.
I came back. I had to.
You didn't have to do anything. You are your own person. You are not tied to that heathen. That honest-to-God devil. And who are you gonna tell me what to do? God damn you, little punk. Where are you gonna learn that? I found something. I had to get out, and I did. And I wandered, as I suppose Henrik ought to have done as well. And I found a calling.
You did?
Yeah. And actually undoes her cloak and pulls out a... Let me see. I want to make sure I get this item right. Oh god damn it, I had to write it down. Pulls out a emblem with the symbol of T-Ray. The...
T-Ray, did I write that one down? Got it. Nature. Yeah, nature
T-Ray, goddess of nature.
Yep, just
Pokemon.
just a tree with extensive roots, and a cloud in the corner. Let me turn down that music. The music's getting a little overpowering.
T-Ray?
Yep. I serve the Grin, and yeah, I try to help out where I can. God, I gotta be honest, it's a little rough. I'm used to all the niceties and things, and this roughing it is sort of new.
Really quickly, while she's talking, Fel just shimmies her out of the little cubby hole, and she just and like still as she's talking, she just pulls her sister in for a needed hug.
Ah, there we are.
On her own part, because she needs a hug right now.
She nuzzles you close. He's like, yeah, I get it. We all need one of these every once in a while.
Yeah, I really need one right now.
Take your time. Yeah. And I've been spending just a little bit of time here with the Sovereigns. I'm due to spend a month or two back with old Zaggy down south. I don't call her that to her face, just 'cause, propriety.
And we may have accidentally nettled her and her people on our way out.
Just give them a few months. They might forget. They might. I'm not sure if they'll remember me. They're not like
Not necessarily.
They're not like
not piss them off.
They're not the goddamn Loxodons of the jungle where they'll remember everything. Oh, goodness me,
What's a Loxodon?
I believe my especially racist father referred to them as Tuscos.
Would Bundle know
He
what those
did.
are?
He did.
Bundle.
Oh,
Bundle.
right.
Yeah, you know what a Loxodon is.
Alright,
When she says her...
Bundle just blurts out, "Elephant person! You know what an elephant is?"
No.
Ranya blinks.
Yeah, we have those in the plains.
Well then that.
Ranya makes a history check to know what an elephant is.
I assume in the savannah-ass like plains
You
Dash
hear
comes
fat
from
elk.
Fat elk. A real chunky boy.
Elk fat. Elk fat. Fat elk. Okay.
Elk fat. Ranya's
It's just Onslow.
Ranya is just imagining a very fat elk.
So Onslow.
Then
A real
Dash,
chunky boy.
then Dash suddenly says, "Oh right, your father."
So,
Real piece something that man.
Dash looks at Feliana.
Fel looks at Dash.
He has
There
no
He
is
looks at me, and she looks at him.
And he looks at me.
Uh,
Dash
if you-
just
if you-
stays quiet.
If you two need a moment, I can let you.
No, this involves the family in general.
Oh God, now what? I spent enough time getting away. You can't
So
let him drag you back in.
he didn't. Henrik did.
Okay, I'm gonna need you to speak slowly and surely. Tell me again. What the
Let me
hell?
expl-
What the hell did he pull Henrik into this time?
Let me explain. I recently, during my stay, during while staying in Redport for a couple months, while we were about to head out, I had received a package from my from father. I don't want to call. She's like, I don't want to call. I received a package from Thymos, and it contained. She holds out to her. She rummages through her bag, and she holds out the note that came with the package.
While this is occurring, Wilt comes around with little shells full of tea for everyone.
Oh, how pleasant!
Are the shells big or are they small?
They look like they're hollowed out snail shells, just with the bottom cracked open, so that way they're like an actual little cup.
Oh, neat.
That's awesome.
And they also offer like little various leaves and berries attached. The fruits and stalks prove especially nutritious to the humanoids.
They are there.
Oh no! Oh, that's right. Oh wait, my manners. And ruffles through the hood and like bloop, plop, right in your face. Ah! It's a hello.
I'm sorry, I freaked out. Yeah.
I'm a druid and I still find this a little odd.
Wilt's bigger than me. That should be reason alone. That should be reason alone.
This is quite interesting. Holy crap! Wilt's bigger than me.
You have size envy for a fucking mushroom.
Dash is used to being the tallest one.
You
Anyway, you were talking about your package.
God damn it!
Thank you for the tea, Mr. Wilt.
Please, just noble sovereign Wilt.
All right, no,
Of the under.
Of the under. All right, noble sovereign Wilt of the under.
Nods very gently and continues passing around tea shells to everyone. Here you go.
Fel looks back to Annie. What I didn't realize is that this package went out months ago, right when I left, which was about. It was 6 months about after Henrik had left, and it had been not right when I left, but it had been 6 months since I since this was sent out to me. And Jesus Christ. Oh, con checks. It's the same number.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's all good, it's all good.
And as you can,
Oh,
and you can probably see in the letter, he was still Thymos was still his wonderful, wonderful self.
So, what, did he have a time limit or something? Like, come back now, or else you don't get your part of the will, or, I miss you so much, I miss to be able to strike you with my studded belt. Yeah, 'cause he's so appealing when he gets that way.
I wasn't actually planning on coming back.
Well, your dad sounds like an
Until-
asshole.
He fucking was. That fucking wasn't at you. It was at the fact that he really fucking was.
you should let Fel finish.
Okay.
I'm surprised Nanny hasn't. Yeah, no, it's okay. That was until I heard that Henrik had returned to the estate.
Yeah, that would take something special. Sips cautiously at tea and munches on... actually, dips her leaf in the tea and starts stirring it and then crunches on the leaf.
Huh, interesting. And I had luckily we had time for a small detour, so we went over there. We saw Henrik for the first time in a year, and
Why does it taste like I'm sipping air?
And I wasn't feeling anything personally towards the situation. I really wanted to see what was happening, see if I could, and then get out. Apparently, things had taken a turn for the worse. They were selling everything, like almost everything that we ever owned.
Oh goody, the old man finally went broke. I thought he would.
Not for the reason you would expect, I think. He apparently had contracted a very, very deadly disease.
Oh, put the fear of God in him finally.
Yeah. And the last time I saw him was when he was laying in his bed with black marks that kind of looked like rot on him, and he was having trouble even breathing. He looked like if I even touched him, that he would crumble right there on the spot.
Hope contagious.
I'm gonna be honest. It felt kind of good to see that. This motherfucker deserved it. The reason I came back was because of Henrik. Because he, unlike gestures between the two of them, us, was very, very taken aback by this. So much that apparently he had left his duties at a at a recent mining site that he had left for, because he wanted to explore the responsibilities of actually running something. And when he came back, he was absolutely broken. He could barely talk to me without without shaking or breaking down into tears. But that's not the reason that we stayed there for a couple days. Do you know Sawdust?
I've heard the term in passing.
Do you know the drug?
Yeah, I guess that's how they refer to it.
Yeah. Well, just for context, it's a drug that apparently is meant to be used to keep yourself awake. Incredibly addictive. Henrik has developed an addiction. And it's been going on for more, for less but almost a year.
Her face kind of drops to the point like, oh man. Like she's not broken by it, but she's like, oh, God. God damn it.
I had to make a choice there. A choice I really did not want to make. I did not want that house. As nice as it was, I fucking hate it. After Mom left, it wasn't. It's never been good.
Yeah.
And after the night I came back was the night that he died.
She pauses. Like, stops stirring her tea quite as intently. And brings her hand up to her face slightly, just on her chin.
Feels weird, doesn't it? It certainly felt weird.
Guess it had to happen sooner or later. And it clicks her tongue and just sniffs and sips a bit more tea. I take it he didn't take it very well.
He locked himself in the room with the corpse of with his corpse, and we couldn't get him out until sunrise.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Gods.
And I had to make a decision the day after the rite that we had, where I personally didn't want to, but for the sake of Henrik and to keep a face, I guess. We had a small funeral, and then Rebecca was actually the one that told me that he had died.
Ah, good Rebecca. Glad to see she was still employed. I was afraid that old Thymus would have found an excuse to get rid of her at that point.
Bareback.
Yeah, but I had to make a choice then. I had to make a choice if I was going to stay there for the sake of possibly helping, no, for possibly helping Henrik out of this fucking addiction, or if I continued on and tried to look for you.
She pauses again and thinks for a moment. Well, here I am. And she kind of like. I don't quite know what you need from me. If it's about the goddamn will, I don't want any part of it. I don't want a bit of that man's money.
No, fuck no. It's okay. I wasn't even gonna suggest that. I just really, it's just because she kind of pauses a bit, and she takes a deep breath before shrugging. I guess I just wanted to know where everyone had gone. First it was Mom, and then after I went to college it was you, then Henrik, and then me. And now it's all coming back at once, and I'm not really sure how to handle it myself.
What'd I miss?
Yeah, just her updating.
Updating. But if you're worried about, I'm not sure if, but don't worry. Henrik I left him under the care of Rebecca.
Good choice. Good choice, I think.
Yeah.
I never got to know. I wasn't as close to her as you were, but she seemed good enough.
She is. She kind of laughs a bit. She was like my saving grace when I was in that fucking house.
No love for me?
She laughs, putting an arm around her.
Yeah, I'm more than willing to check in on him. I as much as I give less of a care for the old man, I do still carry something for little Henny. And I'll swing by. I'll swing by maybe in a month. I've got some little things I've got to take care of in here, and I've got to swing down to the Deserto. I've got a cactar I've got to tend to.
If you head If you head down to the Deserto, be careful. Not much more.
Or what, they're going to take my passport away from me?
No, don't think there's much we can say on it, but there might be shit going on down there.
There's always stuff going on in the Deserto, especially if you look closely enough.
No, still, just word of advice is be careful if you go there.
Alright. Yeah, I don't know if Sovereign's filled you in, but yeah, I'm taking over as a cleric of the dirt around here. I've been isolating myself, spending some time with the various sovereigns, learning about the ways they cultivate, the ways they procreate, the nature around, and I find it relaxing.
Phil smiles. Val smiles. I'm glad you found something that really does suit you. Like, I always knew you'd like to, you'd like to get down and dirty.
I still miss those comforts, but what can I say? I was raised to enjoy those comforts, and it's a little thing to get used to. Not having servants. Servants are the big thing. Although I think I could afford a retainer if I asked politely enough from the estate. I've still got my name after all, even if I shorten it. I've still got this. Empties out her belt and produces a scroll. It's got this damn pedigree I get to carry around because I'm the firstborn or whatever.
Yeah. Pats her shoulder. So glad I'm not. But in all honesty, it really is. It's words can't really describe how fucking happy I am to see you again.
Yeah, come here. And pulls you in again and cloaks her cloak around you and lightly kisses your forehead and tussles your hair with her free hand. Yeah.
As they're sitting like that, Fel's just like, did you really died?
Wait, what?
She said, did you know I nearly died?
Cat!
So is Dash.
Bundle, stop hurting Dash!
Fucking cat's acting up.
Oh, yeah, you nearly died.
Sorry about yelling into the mic.
I came alive again thanks to, the third sovereign.
Came alive again? What?
Oh yeah, how pervy is the little one over there?
Looks to Ranya.
I was gonna say, before the fucking cat acted up, I was gonna say as Dash was watching, Feliana and
Actually,
AvennHoltzer.
she just asked, aren't these your followers extra pervy?
Why was I circled out? Why did everyone look at me?
I wonder why.
That was a Freudian slip.
idea.
I meant to ask her broadly, but for some reason, I'm sorry. I'm so distracted by the pictures showing up in chat. Like, God damn it, man.
What's pervy about the one before the last one?
Anyway, she just asked, are any of you guys gonna take like a little skin the wrong way?
Dash slowly blinks as he looks to his shirtless self and looks back up to her. Not really.
By the way, not bad.
Bundle just kind of shrugs.
Making your charisma save.
Making a
Well,
I was gonna say Dash blushes a little bit, like, I guess they are pretty
yeah,
good.
he does.
Yeah,
Bundle
bro,
just said,
I guess I am pretty buff. He's like the brother from Paranorman.
Great. I was trying to say a thing earlier, but I guess it's not going to be said now.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, while Feliana and AvennHoltzer were goofing around, as he was watching them, Dash was looking a little sad.
Aww.
Because
The sovereign will come for you. There.
Okay.
It's okay.
Reminding him
you
him.
will also find others of your kind, I'm sure of it.
Thanks. Just reminds me of me and my sister is all.
There are a lot of female siblings running about. I wonder if it's something in the water.
Nanny.
Shrug. But anyway.
She's like, fuck it. And she tears off her cloak, and you see she's wearing this basic traveling gear, and she just lifts up her shirt over her front, and as she does, from her back sprout two bat-like wings, just extend out through this Yeah, I had like a close encounter with a particularly in tune sovereign, and we had like a little powwow where I had like a spiritual moment, and basically I summoned out my inner demoness.
Huh.
Huh.
Also, my tail's a little longer and forked now.
Looks to the tail.
Yep, it's forked
Okay.
and it's a little longer than you remember it.
AKA, the variant tiefling DMs will never let you have.
Huh.
Yeah, it's something getting you... I don't get to fly much, just because, well, have you seen the area around here right now?
No, yeah, I would think.
Plus, I'm afraid the lizard folk might shoot me down, thinking I'm something else. But that's
By the
nothing
way, I
against
totally-
lizard. That's nothing against lizard folk. Looks a dash. I'm sorry.
Again, I'm a dragonborn.
Oh yeah, sorry. I've just been listening to the Sovereign this whole time. I just anyway. Yeah, Ron, you're like, goddamn wings. Bundle, like, huh?
Yeah, that's pretty much what he does. He's like, huh, neat.
And Phil's like, holy
Yeah.
shit!
Like, what the fuck? She got wings before I could.
Dash has probably seen dragonborn with wings before.
Well, you've also seen dragons.
Yes.
Too.
Not that impressive.
For Bundle, he's been in the circus. He's seen weirder shit.
I'll be able to fly soon, hopefully.
See, the bearded lizard folk.
By the way, I fucking called that she had wings when he talked about the humps on her back.
I don't think that was that difficult to figure out.
No, it wasn't really.
Kinda obvious.
Yeah, I had like a little spirit journey, and when I woke out of the trance, I found these things. Yeah.
That is.
Also, I'm pretty sure my skin's a little deeper color of red.
Well, takes a closer look.
I mean, you remember like it was like just dark pink when you left. Now it's like I said, bloody raspberries.
I mean, could have been worse. Could have had your throat literally torn out by a chimera.
Also,
Sure,
her talons are a bit more pronounced on her hands.
Damn. Yeah, that's true. Could have been worse. Could have been.
I know,
nearly
and I'm serving the nature guild now, so this just brings up all sorts of questions by the passersby.
Yeah, I would. God, I'm jealous now.
Yeah, that's what younger sisters do, I suppose.
Damn.
But yeah, it's been nice. I think not too many issues. I've been learning all the omens. Oh god, all the nature omens. Do you know how many omens there are in the nature world? Like, at least 40. And I see them every day.
Oh no.
There's a lot of omens.
Also, I need to ask a question because this is actually one of the other reasons why we came here.
Yeah.
Have you seen any people, like a group of people, one with a tabaxi, a half orc, a human?
Human priest. The human priest. The tabaxi Cleric.
the tabaxi kind of looked like Bundle over there. Points to Bundle.
And the other three you didn't get great descriptions on.
What?
The other three you didn't. I'm saying everything. Yeah, those two you can describe easily. The other three you've only gotten vague descriptions of. From.
Yeah.
Wait. Can't Dash himself describe?
Well, you can describe a mirror.
Yeah. So that we can describe at least 3 of them in depth. So
I mean,
who's the
human,
third?
The human, the tabaxi, and the half orc. We can.
Who knows the half-orc?
Fel knows the half-orc, but she doesn't know that it's that half-orc.
Oh, okay.
That was
So yeah,
never
we can
elaborated to me.
describe two of them in depth.
Yeah, like, all you know is that there was also an elf with them and a small person. You didn't know whether it was a gnome, a particularly small dwarf, or a halfling.
Yeah.
I personally haven't seen anyone like that. I've seen a lot of cloaked figures once in a while when I was passing from the south, but I just saw them minding their own business, just that, oh well, beg not and be bothered.
If you're in charge of these lands, you will want to keep an eye on them if we're unable to deal with them, because...
Oh yeah, there was one that left the campsite unattended. I was really mad at that, but I fixed it, so people are going to be people, I guess.
Well, no. Have you ever heard of Tiamat's Chosen?
I'm gonna roll something, do-do-do-do-do.
You can do it.
Natural wonders!
Yeah!
Oh, God.
Blank stare.
You remember those bad people I was talking about that I'm after?
In nature, we don't necessarily think of good and bad, really. I've learned to kind of adapt to that line of thinking, where it's more like...
They're a cult of dragonborn that are trying to resurrect their god to destroy and enslave this entire realm.
Well, no, they're looking for Tiamat's Chosen One, whoever the fuck that is.
That too.
Oh, one of those chosen-born cults?
Yeah.
They're pretty sure they're the ones responsible for burning down some of the swamp.
Okay.
But I have reason to believe those cloaked figures are Tiamat's Chosen.
It's possible. I didn't really stop and ask them much. Sorry.
That was probably for the better, honestly speaking.
Yeah, just knowing that you saw them is
I have
is pretty good
personal.
help already.
My last experience with them, they wiped out my clan.
Oh, that's terrible. Wilt comes around with another spot of tea for everyone, stops at Bundle, and hesitates. Is like, to pet or not to pet?
Don't you dare.
Pet.
He likes it when you touch its tail.
So
Nope.
I would honestly say just be aware of them and try to steer clear of them.
Wilt just kneels down and is like, tea?
To who?
Bundle.
Bundle.
Bundle slowly cranes his head towards them. I know what you're thinking. No, don't.
I was just going to offer you tea.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm used to other people doing the other thing. I would gladly take more tea, he says as he holds out the snail shell.
Tea is good for the longing soul. At least I'm told that. I know not what a soul is.
I wish I was alive.
Technically, they are.
Technically, they are, yeah.
I am alive and dead at the same time.
Which is very fun.
But are you hungry or are you dead?
I'm gonna slap you with a copyright silence.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, it's been quite fun. I'll say no real. Like I've slowly been easing away from that morality thing of good and bad. It's more like what is good for the living and what is good for the passed on and the soil. That's what I've been slowly gaining knowledge of. It's something else, let me tell you. It's more than just all those stories of and the good dragon was better than the not so pleasant dragons, and the king was bad, but now it's more like, okay, this fire was a problem, but it also rejuvenated the soil.
So,
Well, how can? Well, first, I'm first, I'm really happy to see that you're happy. It generally makes me very relieved to see that to see that right now. But second, let's just say the cult is bad for the living, in all things.
And the dead.
I mean, in a perspective thought, they're technically not bad for the dead. They just make more dead.
I wouldn't be surprised if they were bad for the dead, though, given the bullshit they seem to be capable of.
Well, I mean, we don't know.
I mean, we all saw that burned out clearing and how unnatural it looked.
Yeah, that too. But yeah, we're also trying to deliver them because we're starting to Dash thinks that his sister might be present, might be with them.
No, that's not good. You guys should probably get on your way. Well, no, it's terrible outside. You can wait at least to the evening.
Yeah, I mean, we could.
I've waited this many years to try and get my sister and my clan back. What's one more night?
An eternity.
But I'm glad you showed up. Shows the pluck that Mom kind of saw in you.
Have you heard anything about her?
Strangely enough, you ask about a woman of her description and demeanor, you hear a lot of rumors, especially around the red light district. But not many surface dwellers are willing to talk about someone of that demeanor outside of like.
What's a red light district?
Well, you see,
Bundle just goes over to Dash, whispers something in his ear. Roll an intelligence save.
Intelligence or charisma?
I was gonna say charisma save.
Charisma save to keep from blushing, I guess.
That's about right.
Hey.
Oh.
The good news is he's not drooling.
Yeah.
That's good.
I feel like I should regret asking now.
No. These are things you need to know, otherwise you're not going to be very good in pleasant conversation.
Oh, so it's where they go when they want to mate, but not really.
I mean, basically.
Close enough.
I figured. Disappeared and with absolutely no trace.
But the good thing about being a nature cleric, pulls out a pipe, you get all the fucking pest you need.
Damn right.
Bundle's ears shoot up.
Ranya's ears shoot.
Why would his ears shoot up?
I don't know, I thought he was into Pesh too.
He's a casual smoker.
And Bundle?
And
did you put in
you won't
voice
believe
chat?
the shit I can find with the spores.
It took you that long?
I don't really look at Discord often while we're playing.
Leaving that alone.
But yeah, Bundle, she just pulls out a couple of different bags and just starts rolling. Anybody, you want to join in, Little Sis, or are you not of the taste for it?
Surprisingly, with all the shit that's been going on, I have been. Give me one.
Yeah, she cuts you a roll. And just there you go. And
When adventuring's been so hard, it's caused you to go. Okay.
Out of all of us, I think he
no. This is my own special blend of Pesh, Little Sister.
Oh.
Dash tries to smoke it, nat 20 on con save.
Yeah, she actually snaps her fingers. She snaps her fingers, and her thumb lights up with flame.
Oh, that is cool.
Druidcraft, honey.
Bundle looks like he's contemplating something, but then shakes his head. No, it's not gonna work.
I mean, I think the last
And
time
especially with the goddamn spells I have access to, now that I'm a cleric of T-Ray, oh man, I can crossbreed and make all sorts of stuff. It's kind of great. She's got like this crazy glint in her eye now, like we're talking mid-tier Nicolas Cage levels of ooh.
Oh God.
Ranya gets suddenly terrified.
You know
Like,
that
yeah, it's fun trying to get people to test your experiments, isn't it?
you know how you have
Never
God,
again,
no.
Ranya.
God no, jeez. You always ask you.
Oh,
You
of
always
course you
ask.
ask. Or rather,
Like-
you persuade them.
The last time I ate one of his, the last time
no.
I tested one of his berries, I caught fire.
Hey,
No,
it worked out for Bundle last time.
no. Anihala is neutral, borderline good. She's like, no, you always ask, always, and don't push
And
it.
while they're saying that, Dash tells Anihala, yeah, the last time he tried one of his berries for testing purposes, he caught on fire.
Ranya waved the hand like it ain't no thing, like, that was back when I was inexperienced. I've gotten
Ranya,
a lot better at it.
Of all the things I
mean, you still
resisted
can't
to,
lie.
fire is not one of them.
Listen, we'll work on that. But don't worry, I won't give you another one of those. I now know what they do. I'm
The
pretty sure I
Sovereign
can
pipes in.
find-
Please do not light yourself on fire among my spores. I will be very, very, very upset.
Don't
Oh,
worry,
no,
don't worry.
if I catch fire all of a sudden, I would be very upset too. So that makes two of us.
Don't worry. I have refined the process. I'm sure I can make it sure that you do not catch on fire next time.
Yeah, the
But I'll run you did before give Dash
Lesser-
and Bundle a lesser restoration berry. Like
Yeah.
those ones I just gave you should help you out with any sort of poisons or like paralyzing effect. I'm not sure how you can eat it if you're paralyzed, but it's there.
I think at that point, someone else just force feeds it to you.
Yeah. Well, either way, you'll have it
Force
on you.
feed it?
Also, Ranya hands Feliana one of the berries. Like, I think you need this more than me.
She
By
takes
the
it.
way, little sis, how cut you want it?
Oh yeah.
Got that crooked smile in her face. You remember from the mischievous side of her youth, like ooh.
Oh God, she was one of those kids.
Like I'm saying, mid-tier Nicolas Cage. Not quite face-off level, but like, we're talking like matchstick men Nicolas Cage. Like, okay,
Feliana.
there's still a bit of nutso in here, but
Feliana, should we regale to your sister the sheer lack of fortune you seem to have?
Yeah, that was. Oh God.
don't worry, these things won't make you catch on fire. They'll make you feel like it though if I give you the right blend. And
I'll
it
pass.
relieves.
Ranya looks over at Feliana's sister.
Unlike these three, I don't smoke. So
Yeah, she is typically very calm and collected when she's talking about herself, but when she relaxes, it's like, huh. It's kind of like it's very Jekyll and Hyde. Like, oh, it's like when you break up that one favorite subject among like your friend. It's like, oh man, let me tell you about Madden, or let me tell you about like the goddamn SCP universe. Like,
Oh my God, the SCP universe.
it's like, oh God,
I like
what
that
have we
one.
done?
Ranya looks over at Feliana's sister. We should really talk. Compare
and
notes.
So what
God damn it.
so what does Bundle do? What does Bundle do? He rolled that charisma.
I mean, Anihala just lights up and just. Yeah, that's good.
You know that face that the guy who knows what's going on makes? The straight face and then the slowly raised brow of, oh, you're one of those. And so he just kind of scoots on over.
I have to repress a hell of a lot during the day. So when I have nights to myself, I unwind like a ball of yarn and a cat's paws, perchance.
Bundle just
She terrifies me.
he just smirks and says, "Do you mind if I partake as well?"
Sure.
Also,
pick your
Feliana?
Pick your poison, fine passerby.
You want to know
She
who your
points.
sisters
She points
were?
to three different bags, each with a different hatch mark on it.
Oh my god.
Like
Feliana,
1,
you want
2, X.
you want to know who your sister reminds me of right now?
Oh.
You remember Hobo Bill?
Oh. Wait.
Oh, hey.
You wouldn't know a Hobo Bill by chance.
Oh
would
no,
you?
she's too busy interacting with Bun. Like, pick your poison, stranger.
Oh, he goes straight for the X.
Oh my god. Oh, the poor bastard.
A very unique and foreseen choice, my man.
And he
She hands you like a little spoonful. Like, here you go.
takes out the parchment he still has and rolls himself the nicest of blunts.
Damn, that's a nice last blunt.
God damn!
Like
just the color commentary is like, yeah, that is the very nice handiwork right there. Very excellent craftsmanship on the side. The twirling, the finesse. The judges are pulling up their signs right now. It's
Dash just looks at Wilt. You're probably in for one interesting sight.
I believe I deal in hallucinogenics every day.
I think
Yes. But
Yeah,
how
you guys have
often
no
do you-
idea how the Sovereign's perspective is right now.
Also, really quickly, I don't know the drug term. What does what she
Oh,
to
God.
film mean?
I just realized Ranya and Dash are totally gonna get hotboxed, aren't
probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
But what was your question?
I mean, I don't know what she meant. What exactly did Annie say to Fel, because I didn't get that part.
What did she what?
Like what did she say? It was something like, "What's your cut?" I can't remember.
She was asking how cut do you want it. So basically, how strong do you want the additives to be?
Oh well, I'm not. I'm not.
Like she has like mild, moderate, and hey stranger, mind going on a night? Want to go on the night on the town?
Which is what Bundle went for.
I'll take a moderate for now.
All right, yeah, you take a. She gives you half a spoonful of the middle blend with 2 hatch marks, and just there you go, and then mixes in, basically what she does with yours is she takes a thing of pesh, and then mixes it in with a full spoonful of the middle blend, and then mixes it, and then and then cuts you a cigarette with it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Meanwhile,
sister.
Bundle, she just poured straight in the blend. No pesh, just straight.
And he rolled it up, and he asked, "Do you mind?" Because
Snaps her middle fingers and puts them together and lights.
and he smokes.
Smoke.
Ranya is currently looking
Make
over.
me one hell of a con save.
I hope he fails.
Oh god, how the
I
fuck?
think the only one of us here who can make it is Dash, honestly speaking.
Oh, god damn it! That's not what I wanted. But
That is a 5 plus what's your con?
that's a 4 then.
Oh wait, we're talking like an average night with Snoop Dogg over here.
Hell yeah!
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
Like she's like nice and take a puff.
Why is Phil so good at the contests for alcohol and drugs? Like, I just noticed this.
Meanwhile, Fel, you just take it in. It's like it's smooth. It's very smooth. You cough up a little bit because it's been a while since you've partaken. But it's like you're like getting back in the habit. Like, okay, but you breathe it in nice and it's like, yeah, it like loosens up your airways a little bit. Like you've been very constricted as late, just because all the stress, all the hell you've gone through the past couple months. It's like, oh, you're like the explosions gone. You're sitting in a nice calm field with the wind. The crushings, no, you're being caressed by the grasses and the windfall.
Then your blindness gone.
Your blindness, now you have your eyes closed and you feel the light sun tickling your eyelids and follicles. It's like, yeah, smooth. Meanwhile, Bundle's just
let's see what
riding a
Bundle's doing.
chainsaw down into the gutters.
Why are you currently watching this?
Feeling good.
He's currently
As he
looking
takes a
over-
drag in real life.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I mean, you're not right.
This stuff is interesting. As Ranya is looking over the plant material.
Wait, what
Meanwhile-
is she having?
Meanwhile, Dash has literally nothing.
No, like seriously, I'm actually curious about the
She
fuck
takes
is
out a
she
spoon and a lighter.
Oh my god.
I'm kidding! For those of you who got that,
What happened? What did you say?
no, she just, she actually takes a spoonful of one, spoonful of two, and then just a half spoonful of the X, and rolls it together with a nice amount of pesh, and just rolls it up, and, like, she takes half servings of each, and then rolls it up with a half serving of pesh, and just rolls it up into a fine, regular mix, like... Eyelids flutter a little bit, almost like she's in REM, but she's still awake.
And then the radio starts playing like fuck.
Welcome to WMYC. We're heading We're heading into the Veronica's territory.
Dash looks at Sovereign Wilt. Do you know what arm wrestling is?
Jesus Christ.
I do
I'm
not.
bored.
Does
Everyone's just picking their poison today.
oh such barbarity? Do you often sever limbs and wrestle with them?
No,
Yes.
that's not what.
I was going to say I can, but I prefer not to. It takes a hot second to replenish my limbs, my
There is
limbsicles.
There is no removal of limbs in arm wrestling.
Oh, what did I witness then?
Probably just straight up dismemberment.
Ah.
Oh my.
Oh fuck.
Do you want to learn what arm wrestling is?
Ranya, what are you doing during this?
He's
Oh
currently
yeah, you're
looking
inspecting.
over
You're inspecting the plant, the material. You're
Yeah,
taking like you're just taking like a little pinch of the stuff and just investigating it.
Yeah, he's... Well, first he's going to roll himself up one himself, and he's going to take a couple of samples of these things for later, so he can try to reverse engineer them later.
No, you're not.
She slaps your hand.
Now, are you gonna take some now, or are you gonna take some later? Because later, this takes time. So, I need some comp if you're gonna take without the par take.
He's...
Say hello to my sister.
Feliana, your sister terrifies me.
Oh, she terrifies me days, but
My...
this is just amazing.
Ranya-
your sister's fucking awesome.
Ranya,
You want to see something great? She points to Sovereign. Hit it. He's like, oh, you mean the Sovereign puts their hands over the lamp, and it gets completely dark in the room, and then you just see
God.
Oh god, here we go.
Anihala's eyes light up in this deep dark orange, and
Here we go.
and the teeth glow too.
Oh my god.
Red, actually.
Oh shit.
It's like that one creature from SCP-087-B.
Ha! Bundle's just like, awesome.
Alright, I need you to roll a charisma save, Bundle. At disadvantage
Okay.
because of holy shit.
Alright.
Oh my god, the night terrors.
A 5.
Yeah, you're like, yeah. I'm saying it like, no. You're like, it's like the first time you're playing that SCP game. It's like,
He,
Oh no!
Dashegen, you may or may not have violently moved backwards away from Anihala.
Say again.
Ranya has had to deal with Owl's bullshit for years, so is this anything new to him?
Well, hold on. Dash, yeah, you violently moved backwards away from Anihala.
Nope.
At one point, you're pretty sure her head rotated 180 degrees to look at you.
Oh my god.
You're gonna get high whether you
Meanwhile,
like it or
Bundle's
not.
like, oh, shit, it's the devil. Meanwhile, Fel's like, huh, not bad. God damn.
Not bad. Damn, I really want to see if I can get some. Like, Belle's like, Fel's like, well, damn,
Can't
I
wait
want
to
to
get
see.
demonetized.
We're already demonetized.
Yeah, I know what.
We're not even. We're on YouTube and we're demonetized.
Hey, devil weed is legal in quite a few states. It's fine.
Meanwhile, yeah, Ranya, you roll yourself one as well?
He does.
But yeah, she's
but he
like,
would
she
to talk
basically
to-
says, if you're gonna take some without taking, I need some comp.
I do intend to partake, but my people
But are
usually
you
borrow.
partaking all arts?
Shrugs. He brings
If you're holding, you must give. Give. It is still dark, by the way, and this stuff is still going on.
Ranya takes out a couple of berries. He sets one of the perfume berries and his last haste berry in front of her.
Oh god, perfume fish. Jesus.
I have
do.
product of my own.
Ah, sweet. She picks up the perfume berry and gnashes on it.
oh no. Oh no!
Oh no!
I need charisma save, disadvantage from Dash, disadvantage from Bundle, straight from Ranya.
Fuck!
What?
Oh no!
Oh boy, we're gonna have an order.
No!
Oh god, Ranya!
Oh my
I have caused untold amount of damage with my poor decisions.
Yes, you have.
Meanwhile, I'm just here like.
Fucking the double natural one.
Yep.
Alright.
I think Brett's trying to compose himself.
He's trying to figure out just how the fuck this is gonna go down. I'm inclined to let him.
And one of them is fucking high as
I don't know how to roleplay that, Brett.
I do. I know how to gladly.
We're going
Well,
to
I imagine he sent you either the same thing or a different thing.
Okay.
oh dear.
So at this point, Bundle's like, you know what? Fuck it. He puts down the weed because at this point
You're loaded.
he's done.
Aw, I didn't get any needles.
And
Well, no, he just sets down the blunt right there. It's still pretty full.
Oh yeah, it's pretty. It's
I mean, it's
full.
sitting right there at the table, Ranya, if you want it.
So he puts it down, looks to Fel and says, "Look, we've been through a lot. I just want to say right now, I apologize for what I'm about to say."
her. Like she takes a long drag of her own blunt.
You went to Bard College.
I went to Bard College. Like, oh shit, here we go again.
And he looks to looks to Fell's sister, "Hey, you single?" Just straight up asks. Doesn't give a fuck.
All right, Ranya, con save.
I'm feeling too emotional right now, and I don't know how to feel
Ah,
about it.
fuck. Oh, I'm actually disappointed in that.
All right, the color inverts.
Huh.
Ranya takes out a piece of parchment.
And Dash,
Hallucination
you
effects.
just you feel hearts.
Mm-hmm.
You feel those hearts.
Like his own.
Meanwhile, Ranya's just. You also at the corner. I see Ranya exhale multicolored smoke. It's like.
This stuff kind of reminds me of a weaker version of Pesh. I mean, not Pesh, Peyote.
And Anihala looks to you, takes another drag, like, what you bring to the table?
Me again?
No point. We're cutting back to bundle. I'm sorry. Yeah, cutting back to bundle.
Okay.
It's like, what are you bringing to the table?
Oh yeah, powwow.
He thinks about it for a second. What? No. He straight up asked her out. Straight up. Is she single?
Yeah. She's asking. Yeah.
What
What you bringing?
And he says, "Well, I'm very flexible. I'm good with my hands."
And
Look,
Fel's just
Anihala
like,
looks to Fel. Is he telling it straight?
Fel looks to Bundle. She contemplates. Like, out of character, I don't know what the fuck to do.
I don't know. How do you feel about one of your partners in crime going at it?
With your sibling.
With my older sister. With my sister.
Come on, Ron. Let Harry.
Wow.
Let Harry date your sister.
Oh god.
Meanwhile,
This needs better music.
Yes, it does.
This music.
Meanwhile, I don't know how poor Dash is reacting right now.
If I got what I got correctly, you're feeling a similar way.
Oh dear. Are
Yeah,
you two
but
gonna
unlike
fight?
you, he doesn't know how to put anything into words like that because he'd never experienced feelings like that in general because he just didn't pay attention to them.
I see you guys have a testosterone fight.
I mean, fair enough, but this is just how
It
he
sounds vaguely like
Oh,
70s adult music.
a bit.
Christ.
Okay, I think I got it.
Eh.
What was the question again?
She was asking you if he was shooting straight about him being flexible and good with his hands. Which basically you can interpret either as bow chicka wow, or whether literally is he flexible and is he good with his hands.
And do you know this from first-hand experience?
Yeah, you can interpret it either way. I'm leaving it entirely up to you. Oh Jesus!
A bit loud.
This has a hell of a
Sorry.
second arc. This is Final Bath music. Which is kind of fitting.
Outside, Mushroom Daft Punk is having a hell of a day.
I like to think that our characters are hearing this in their heads right now because of the weed.
Nah, Bundle is hearing this in his head.
Yeah, but Dash's heart is the drum,
Christ. Poor Dash.
and that heart is pumping a lot of blood somewhere.
Oh no.
Where?
So yeah. She asks Fel
never-
straight up, is he good with is he shooting straight?
Fella looks to straight in the eyes, and she nods, and she's yeah, he's shooting straight. Could use some work though.
Ouch! Cut me quick. Cut me deep.
Didn't even need cutting words for that.
Friendly fire.
I need to practice my cutting words. God damn it! I never noticed that I do that with my teammates. And I do.
The moment you say that, he responds to what you're saying without missing a beat. Well, perfect practice makes perfect execution.
Nicolas Cage smiling on Hollow's face. Yes.
You're welcome, Catman.
Alright, but before that, points to the halfling like, you. I require payment of one variety or another.
Siblings. I showed you my goods.
That's right. But like, you got any coin for like that materials? That took me like 3 days of gathering, and Sovereign sheds a lot, and you have to recycle that stuff often.
I am working on retaining my sheddings. Just very overwhelming.
Ranya's head turns to bundle. How much we got in the bank? I have 90 silver!
How much do we have in the bank? 1 second.
Bono does some quick math on his love-struck mind. Like, yeah, let me see how much money we got.
School set me back a lot of money. Okay.
With what he has in his pockets and how much he actually has in the treasure trove, between the both of them, that's 51 gold.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, 55 gold.
Yeah, we are broke right now.
Actually, Fel takes a drag. How much were you thinking about charging him? She says to Annie.
I was thinking. Her eyes glaze over a little bit.
I've been making you guys a
They
lot of
unglaze.
potions. You all owe me.
I was thinking like half a dime's worth, so 10.
Fel takes him up from her own because she does save up, and she tosses a small bag of 10 gold coin. No, 15 to 15 to Ranya.
Kill. Passes it over to her sister.
Mm-hmm.
Damn! What a fucking adventure with visiting Feliana's sister.
Yeah. To be fair, at this point, I'm just responding to basically the stimuli.
The medication.
Ranya is planning on reverse engineering this stuff and trying to put it into berries.
Oh lord.
God. I'm going to sow those seeds across.
Yeah, Ranya, you can smell the heat in this room.
Meanwhile, Dash is probably just like sitting cross-legged, hands over his legs.
Wilt approaches. Are you okay? Do you require...
How long of hotboxing does Dash need to be in until he is subjected to
a con save
effects? Yeah.
Make a straight con save, Dash.
There's the
drugs
20.
aren't the okay.
Hey. Fuck you! You can't get high for shit.
The patch isn't affecting you. However, the berry is the one that's like, oh no.
Yeah. You can't say.
Yeah, you haven't felt anything down there in years. I didn't think anything could happen again after what those damn cultists did.
Yo, Bundle, you the share type, my dude.
He's really not wrong.
These berries are against nature itself.
I think I found some.
I'm imagining Luke Skywalker and Bruce. That's not possible.
I think the perfume berries may be the most dangerous thing Ranya owns.
Can you give some? Can you give more of those? More of those to Fel?
Yeah,
Because
Dash, you're you're moderately lightheaded.
I can mass produce that shit.
I didn't hear you over them, Brett.
You're moderately lightheaded because of, well,
Yeah. Yeah, and I imagine it's probably pretty fucking obvious. There is not really.
I like how
behind
PG-13
that.
we're remaining with this so far.
Yeah.
I'm very good at this.
Go ahead.
Yo, Bundle, how do you feel about sharing?
no, you. I'm still. I'm.
Fel's just like, am I pimping out my own sister? I don't know.
That was me.
Thing is, Dash, I think is fucking, what's the word? Not gentlemanly, but he wouldn't think to ask. So
Shy.
he's
Yeah.
too shy.
I'm debating whether or not Fel should do something that I have been baking in the back of my mind for months upon months, and I'm scared of that.
Oh no.
Tonight's the night, if any night, sister.
Jesus.
You might as well.
This is what happens when the youngest player
I've always,
finally
want,
gets
I've always wanted to know how it feels when a mushroom.
Christ.
Oh no. Oh my.
Oh my god, I felt
I just gonna go hang out with the mushroom man. I've had enough of this shit.
Honestly, I'm gonna say go for it. Fucking.
Thanks for giving me the A-OK.
Come on, Fel. I can take it.
Christ.
Ranya's gonna be the only virgin in the party soon.
I mean,
You just said you wanted to oh, wait.
No. Not for myself.
For science?
No.
I
No.
think he meant
Not for me! For science!
Christ.
wow.
Alright, anyway, who wants to say something where? Did Dash want to say something? Did Fel want to say something? What's going on?
Fel can go first.
Fel looks to her sister, nudges her with elbow before gesturing her head to Bundle, and she's like, "Well, you have your payment for what Ranya wanted." Am I pimping up my sister? No.
No. You're pushing. You're
No.
hooking up a
She
girl
is
now.
very. She is. Yeah. He's the one who propositioned. She's the one who's considering it, and you're the one who's just like giving advice. Like, yeah, I guess
You're
he's good with his
basically
hands.
giving Bundle a Yelp review.
Yeah.
I don't know how to respond.
But Yelp isn't relevant anymore. What does that say about me?
Uber-star rating.
All right, but is there anything further you wanted to
Uber-star
push,
rating,
Fel?
would you write again?
There is, but I don't think I can hold a straight face to.
You don't need to hold a straight face to pull that stuff off.
Yeah, just
No,
fucking
you're
do it.
behind the screen, my girl.
Once that
Yeah.
perfume berry came out, all bets were off.
Yeah. You might as well at this point.
Oh my god, turned 18. Here we are.
Welcome to the world of adults.
Hell, she already made out with a half-orc like 8 months ago.
This is true.
Christ.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, you should thank Ye Boy for your prowess. Anyway, back to the real game.
Yeah.
She's actually going to wait until Annie Hala and Bundle are out of the room.
All right. Yeah, Aniala takes another stiff drag. As the light slowly filters back into the room, and she lets her shoulders loose a little bit. In that term, and it's like, oh, all right. two finger follow.
Without a word, Bundle just follows along.
I don't understand. Tell if I just helped Bundle score or help my sister score. It's a very.
The answer
fine
is yes.
¿Por qué no los dos?
Porque nos dos. Yes, that's true. Oh God, what if we had viewers that were saying?
Oh Lord.
We might after this.
Welcome back to Dynamix After Dark.
No, this is
Welcome to
literally
WMYC, where we're about to get gnarly and dirty.
Anyway,
Oh God, give me a second. I need to scream. Where I don't know, but I need to.
You have to put the birds away, Fel. They can't see what you're about to do.
What the fuck even is this session?
I did not plan for this. I was just like, fuck it.
yeah. There is no planning this kind.
Yeah, it's not like I had a romantion ready. It's like, no, it's a couple people in the woods.
Yeah. Fuck.
What else are you gonna do in the woods? I don't know.
Oh God, my face is so red.
Take a drink, girl. Take a drink.
Breathe.
Oh God. Okay.
Erotic asphyxiation is not worth it.
You're not helping.
No kink shaming.
That's your kink, motherfucker. Don't speak for.
Anyway,
Fuck, I really don't know how to do this.
Just at your own pace.
One thing. Alright. Here you go. No, 1 in the morning. Worth it. Don't even fucking care about school tomorrow, honestly. Okay. Thank you, music, for cutting off right this.
there it is.
There it is. But Fell as the two leave. She finishes off her cigar, making sure to, no fires.
Yeah.
Especially in a clay house.
Clay's not that flammable, really. It's just it hardens, but
No, that's the thing. Like, there is nothing to burn away. So you're just stuck inside a clay house.
Yep.
And only that. And she goes over to Dash.
Who is currently
sitting very funnily.
Yeah.
That's a funny way to sit. Never.
Yeah. Hi, Phil.
Hi, Phil.
Oh God.
He's playing it off as best he can.
But there's no playing that.
But it'll take a very low insight check to, well...
Yeah. I think you would have to natural one.
Do I even?
No, I would say you don't have to.
I was about to say no.
He looks a little bit uptight, a little bit tense.
Christ.
I love how we're all trying to remain PG of it.
That makes it
more
funny.
fun.
I find erotic literature more interesting than porn.
Yeah. Trying to keep it PG makes it funnier.
Yeah. And she's like, hey. Glances up and down. Are you?
Say again.
She glances at him. She glances at him up and down, just like like taking in his current predicament. Let's say that. Let's say predicament. Yeah. She's like, "Are you okay?"
I honestly don't know.
I mean, Dash, you don't feel bad. It's just different.
Yeah, and that's about how he explains it. It's like, just feel different right now.
Different.
Different.
Yes. Smoking with can the mushroom? That's a question for another day.
Yeah. Anyway.
And if I was just like, and she laughs a bit and she's like, yeah, surprisingly, she does have that kind of effect on people, from what I can remember. It's very, very strange to watch, too.
The Sovereign says, very potent.
That, too.
Those spores were amazing.
Christ.
Cry. What the fuck?
Yeah, Dash just kind of quietly listens to her.
I'm totally not focused on something else. I'm digging my own grave here.
Basically.
And here is where I lie. I hate this. I don't hate this. This is just... Oh
Get on with it!
I'm trying, goddammit!
Oh.
It's easier in text, not in voice.
Huh.
Shut up! You don't know my life.
Uh-huh.
God damn it, Ranya.
And she kind of like just she just stays quiet for like a solid 30 seconds before she does speak up. Hey, there. I don't care. Jesus Christ. Hey, so when we track down these cultists, we might not make it, right?
There is the possibility, yes.
Jesus Christ, Deneb, what the fuck?
Deneb, stop it.
Stop! Oh my god. And you may not even may lose more than we got in the first place.
Dash kind of somberly nods.
She takes a deep breath, contemplates to herself, tells herself to go.
Go for it, girl.
Yeah, basically. Go for it. You got it. Basically, like, gives herself a little pep talk, and she's like, how the fuck do I even word this? I can do it. I can do it. Alright, here we go. Fel gives herself inspiration. Possible, but I hope so.
Ranya's making this hard.
You know what? Sure.
No, he's oh my god, it's... No, I mean, Ranya's making this harder, but I'm so glad he is, because he's giving me time.
Fair enough.
And she's just like, so I think I might... She does say this, like, kind of bashfully. She isn't her sister, and she hasn't really been with someone like that, so she's just like, you know, I could possibly help with the gestures towards Dash, the situation.
How does Dash take this?
Which, yeah,
Yeah,
please.
let's talk about this in Dash's point. Be like, wait, what?
Yeah, no, he's like
Dash.
low, but he looks like he was obviously like he was looking somber when she was making things a little serious, and then his eyes go wide, obviously taken off guard. Looks to Feliana. Just kind of incoherently trying to make words but failing.
All I need is a yes or a no.
Hesitates,
Hesitates.
just slowly nods. But what color do black dragonborn even blush? Because that is
Pale.
his entire
Pale.
Yeah, his
Like
entire
sort of the
face is
inversion where
pale
like
now.
suddenly like your cheeks turn the color of used charcoal.
Wait, what the? Wait, how does blush even work for Phil now? Does she even have that anymore?
Dark.
No, you've got color going through there. So yeah, there's like a little bit of redness in your white face.
Yeah.
Nice. Redness
So-
or dark blue?
So Dash. Yeah. Anyway,
I know. I'm
Dash
stalling.
sort-
Damn it.
Dash just sort of says, I wouldn't be opposed. And it sounds like it'd be fun. Fuck it.
That sounds like an okay, says the GM.
Yeah, it is.
And she gently takes his hand and guides him up to the next room. And
Guys,
I'm not continuing about that.
Yeah,
that she-
no, he just follows her.
All right, and Ranya's just gonna hotbox it with the sovereign.
Oh man. Like,
No, even better. The room for him suddenly goes black. Lady.
Oh lord.
no, that actually might happen considering that when
Cut to the next
people
morning.
go on drugs-
Cut to the next morning. Ranya is inside of a mushroom for some reason.
No, the thing is, when his people go on drugs, they usually go on vision quests. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Brett was prepared for something like that.
I can start that next time, but
That's perfectly
Yeah.
fine.
yeah, I can flash back to that next time if you want to go on that, but I can't do it right now, unfortunately.
It's fine.
I love you, Ranya,
yeah.
a lot, but it's like, ooh, we are
No.
running so close to time that it's like, eh.
Untold amount of shit. I may not be involved in the shit, but I caused it.
You single-handedly made the train go so far off the rails just now for spectacular hilarious results.
No, here's the thing. The train. You made the rail so badly that you.
The train
And a
sprouted
ship
the
to
train
sail.
sprouted the train sprouted wings.
And just kind of flew off in another direction entirely.
Show me Red Bull, because I gave you ass wings.
And somehow made this ship that I was putting in the back of my mind. Don't do it. Finally sail.
Mazel tov, motherfuckers!
Mazel fucking tov.
We have
Deneb was the one who predicted the fucking Dashegen ship. And that ship has apparently sailed.
and if
Alright.
Ranya wasn't high off his fucking ass, he'd be celebrating.
The group's first ship!
All right, so
Crash.
Poor little virgin Ranya.
Bundle, I need you to make a con check or an acrobatics check. I need you to make a con check, followed by either a charisma check, an athletics check, or an acrobatics check.
Obviously acrobatics,
Oh my
So
god.
con check
You have been
first.
ballsy about it.
which this is the one where I'm like, oh come on, don't fuck this up.
Dude, if I could have given you guys...
If I could have given you inspiration.
You want to retroactively have Ranya slap you on the ass as you go into the room?
now that ain't gonna work. Because I can't give them both to him.
I don't know if guidance with bundles con. If he fucks up, I don't think even guidance can save him.
Truth be told,
Hold up.
I think Dashegen needed it more.
I think I can give him inspiration bundle
Oh god.
because I technically did.
Fuck it, everyone gets inspiration.
DA inspiration.
Alright, fine.
We're up all night to get some.
I don't need it so far, so a 17 for Constitution.
We're up all night.
Alright. It's a good,
And then-
steady session.
Alright, and
That's a good session right there.
acrobatics
Oh
with
my god.
with the inspiration.
I
Oh,
don't have
wait.
inspiration.
Oh,
that
god damn it.
Inspiration
God.
can't help with that, man.
No.
Yeah.
Oh
I
no!
fucking break something, apparently.
No!
I'm gonna roll something.
Oh no, no, no.
Actually, I need to roll twice for her as well, so...
Oh my god.
I can do nothing to save this.
Oh, whoa.
Oh no, no, no.
Great. Great.
You did your best, man.
Okay, so she rolled a 2 on her constitution.
So she doesn't last the... Wow. Okay.
She was hot box tall hell, man, in both meanings of the word.
Okay, so you
And-
might have did good. You don't. No one remembers.
Let me see. Her strength, she rolled an 8.
Damn.
So actually, technically, you match.
You guys were really shitty.
So we were just horrible? God. Oh, wow.
Bundle, I will. Bundle. Here's a.
They both think they can do better.
I fucking gave you the
No,
opportunity.
no. The constitution was for how long she lasted.
Which is not very long at all.
Oh,
But that just means... You know what? Hold on.
yeah.
Okay. It happens thrice. So...
What?
It happens thrice.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey.
Ah,
Alright.
congrats.
And for the acrobatics and strength, she actually lifts you up, and you, attempting to roll with the punches, attempt to do like some Cirque du Soleil bullshit, but you bonk your head on the top of the clay dwelling,
Oh no.
and you fall back on top of her, and meanwhile she just slams you against a wall, and you guys just go nuts over there in the corner.
That's a fucking. That is some fucking violent bullshit right there.
So-
Basically, I am the...
You remember that scene from GoldenEye?
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yeah, that scene with Xenia in the spa. That's kind of what's going on, except the opposite, where she's lifting you and you're just...
Can I just put it like this? I am the yin, she's the yang in this.
Yes.
Yeah, I got it.
Since, I'm gonna say,
Yeah.
she has a strength of 19.
Holy fuck!
She is
She
stronger
is a
than
cleric.
Holy
Oh,
fuck!
motherfucker. Do you speak it?
And you wonder why I want to increase my strength, Brett. Because you keep making characters like that.
Maybe
And-
we level up after this.
Yeah, I forgot to mention, Fo, yeah, she took off her shirt and she's a bit more buff than you, and we're like, whoa.
Like whoa, damn.
Abs.
And, okay, so Fel and
Hi,
Dash,
how are you?
Constitution from both of you.
Check or save.
You can choose.
I'm gonna go save because that is higher.
Yeah, actually, save would make more sense with this. Oh,
And I am going to roll that inspiration.
sure.
That's just... Is that a D8?
D8.
She'd be giving you inspiration all night, man.
Okay.
Well, that went from a 9 to a 17.
All right.
Dude.
Fel.
This is some silly shit.
Hold
a little bit.
Give me a sec.
You do have inspiration.
Nice and steady. Nice and steady. Not perfectly synchronized, but close.
Good
Yeah.
wrist work.
Good
Yeah,
form.
she.
I give him a 7 out of 10.
And now
I have no idea.
strength, dexterity, athletics, or acrobatics.
From the both.
Actually, no, or performance.
Or prefer.
Wow. Okay. I know how that's gonna fucking go.
I'm guessing Fell's gonna go for performance.
Damn right you. Damn right you are. Okay.
Now say you already burned through the inspiration.
No,
Yeah.
hold up. No, hold up, really quickly. I just need to tell it really quickly. This happened in another campaign with Fel. Same, but a little bit different. She rolled performance at disadvantage. She got double nat 20s.
Yeah.
Go for it.
So I wonder how this is gonna go. Here we go. Modify.
Yeah.
They are surprisingly close to one another.
Seriously.
Ranya's
only
way
makes
too high to hear this.
All right. So, Dash, you are very careful. You at first feel as though you're cradling like a bird, but you realize, nah, man, just go for it, and it ends pretty well. And Fel, she's steering you the right way. You guys are very communicative, and it works pretty well.
This one actually ends up being pretty romantic.
Yeah, pretty solid.
Damn right.
Aw,
Which I'm actually gonna.
huh.
I don't think she would take acid damage, no.
I hope not.
And now you're not
Also-
drunk. You're not drunk. That's the thing.
Also, if anything,
Oh,
I think
God.
she would have to kiss. I think she would have to
He-
kiss his snout or something, because I don't think he's physically capable of kissing.
Hmm.
Yeah,
That's true. Jesus Christ, I'm
I'm trying to think of
Yeah,
how a
later gonna be
dragonborn
like-
would kiss.
gonna rewatch this session later. Like, what the fuck happened there?
You know, I think this will make a great season finale.
Yeah, actually, this would be a season finale moment, because a
Yeah,
ship
accomplished
sailing
a lot.
is a pretty season finale kind of feel.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So
And
yeah,
Dash
you
had finally become a man.
yeah. Bundle, you guys are a bit messy over there in the corners because of all the banging and crossing. It's like oh. At one point, some liquid does dribble out of like the ceiling because you banged it, and like you hit like a vein. But it kind of adds like the glycerin like 80s music video type feel to it.
Oh.
Damn.
We're talking pour some sugar on me levels of oh. Meanwhile, Dash and Fel, it's more like an 80s love scene.
Lion King.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
also
quite Lion
speaking-
King.
This ship was likely going to happen sooner or later, honestly.
News to me. And
All right.
with that,
You.
and with the afterglow of Bundle and Anihala just lighting up immediately after, like, yeah, like she's very excited, like, yeah, I thought it would go that way.
To which he lights up too. He's like, huh. I had more of a workout doing this than I did having to fight a dinosaur. That was great.
Yeah, a little bit more flexibility necessary, but I had that up to my feminine wiles. Grins, feminine Nick Cage.
Now, that's
Hi.
a terrifying sight.
Oh lord.
And meanwhile, Fel and Dash, you guys just do it right, do it well, and then just slowly fall asleep in each other's arms.
Aw.
And Fel and Dash, you sort of have like this feeling of this feels like home. Like after all the hell that this, not just this season, but this journey so far has brought, this is a nice relief.
Basically a feeling both of them haven't felt in a long time.
Yeah, between like Fel's family issues and your family issues and just
You take that
the utter
goddamn-
beatings you've taken Dash and Fell, this is a very, very welcome release. Meanwhile, Ranya's just out there like,
420, 420 blaze it.
With the mushroom man.
The Sovereign's just like, yes, it is quite hazy. I should open a window. This is getting ridiculous.
Now let me tell you about these berries I got.
You have told me thrice already. I am very familiar with each variety you have. You are missing some, actually.
I need to restock myself. Like, yo, man, I got some better berry juice.
By the way, what is that owl doing there?
Nah, don't worry about
You have been hooting in between each description quite enthusiastically. I am quite concerned. Do you need medical?
Man, don't worry. Don't even worry about who. It's like, have you seen my fish? He opens up his
Oh, the poor fish.
pack. The fish comes out.
Oh yeah, the fish
Like-
comes down, it's like,
And that's the perfect cap to the evening. Now I've seen it all.
Frederick! Frederick is
Frederick also just has a blunt, like,
That poor fish.
as the iris slowly fades in on the fish, who winks at the camera, and then we'll just close out with end of season 2. The Dynamics of Good and Evil will be back
Wow.
next time.
Wow.
You know what? I also thought of something else.
Oh god.
Oh god. Here we go.
The plant.
Plant!
We forgot about the plant.
I think it's better that we forgot about the plant.
What, you want to show it to Anihala? Hey, look at this I got!
No.
Hey,
Low.
look, this is my child.
Hell no.
By the way, I got a kid. Oh shit, no, I'm out of here.
Jesus Christ.
Actually, no, this sounds a bit more porny now that I think about it.
Fuck my life. I have missed weekly sessions of this.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm so
Okay,
sorry.
did anyone want to do anything more before we wrap up?
No!
I think we're good. We're good at where we left off.
I do.
I'm good, I'm good.
I would love to continue, but I can't. That's a good place to leave off.
Yeah. If I was gonna do anything, it would have been me being edgy, if anything. So nah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing I can think of to add to that.
Oh my god.
So, how was that?
Can I? Because I can...
They fell.
Shut up.
Can you feel the love tonight?
Can
See?
you feel the love tonight?
Oh God, no.